I'm Brody Duke.
Well,
Are you
I don't
ready?
see
I have
it,
no
so
idea
I'm gonna
what
wait
the-
until it comes up.
I've got
What's
to
the
log into
episode? What's the
reach
episode?
606.
606.
606. I like that.
Everybody needs a 606. No,
God,
it's
it's,
303.
it's so long till I can make a joke about 808 State. God, that's going to be ages.
Maybe you don't need to make a joke about 808 State.
It's going to be
Well-
like 3.5 years.
It's going to be a long time. Long time.
You can make a
people.
joke about the 808 machine. But you
What
don't
about
make a joke.
666? That's not as far away.
That's close.
Oh, Satan is close.
Yeah.
All
See?
right, so we're ready to start then.
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Let's do it. Come on. Let's do
And
it.
now it's got hot new games like The Legend of Soul Tar.
To the veteran gamers, Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that we played this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite savior. The
ball is right. It works at so many levels.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Uh-oh, spaghetti.
Really?
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
That's my purse. I don't know you. I'm a potato.
Hello and welcome to episode 606 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yay, 606. What's up, people? Duke is in the building.
As is Stu.
Mike is also in said building.
I like that. That's good.
We're all here and we're all ready to talk about video games. We are the veteran
yes.
gamers, not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle, people.
Correct. We
Yes,
stream
we are.
live every Sunday at 9 p.m. on YouTube and Twitch.
And it's going to be a good show. I'm feeling good about this week.
Feeling
I'm
good?
Pumped.
You
I'm
feeling
rested.
good? You feeling good?
Yeah, I've been drinking water all day. So,
Wow.
you know,
Drinking water.
That'll do it.
just talked to a friend of mine that I haven't spoke to in a while. And yeah, there's no feces in our basement.
What?
My favorite time.
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
story time.
So here we go. On Thursday afternoon, I came home from school where I have been doing a little pre-planning stuff. This coming week is pre-planning week. The kids come in next Monday. But last week I had to meet with a teacher to talk about a course and, you know, do a couple of things here and there. Come home Thursday and 3 p.m. and I go downstairs and I'm like, ugh, what's that smell? And the Duchess comes down a couple of steps and what the, oh God, you're right. What is that? Yeah, it did not smell good. So I go in the bathroom and I'm like, what the hell? And so the floor is damp. I'm like, I step on the floor mat. Oh, what is? We open the back door, the back part of the basement that's not finished, and there's like a pool of standing water.
Nice.
And we're like, oh God, what the what? We're running around crazy. I get the mop and I'm just like trying to mop it into the bucket, and then I get this other bucket to try to put it in a bigger bucket. Duchess comes down when I got a plunger. I'm trying to do the toilet. It's doing nothing. So, the Duchess comes down with the liquid plumber stuff, and I'm like, we gotta call a plumber. She's like, well, what if we try? I'm like, no, I'm not trying nothing. So we call a plumber, and they go, well, when was your septic tank last pumped? And I don't know anything about this stuff. My whole life for 4 decades, it's just been, it goes down and away. The city deals with it. Well, that's not how it works out here in the country. So I was like, hokey smoke.
Is that what you said on the
Let
phone?
me-
I said,
Hokey smoke.
Can I just say
That's
something?
from,
Can I just interject it slightly
Yes.
at this point, you? Because
yes.
I'm trying to understand how you moved to a house in the country and have no idea how the plumbing or toilets or septic tank works in
I
this
would-
very remote farmhouse
I would be
compared
the
to your
same.
city living.
Because I didn't get a goddamn class on how
There
it
isn't-
works.
yeah,
How am I
there isn't
supposed
like
to
a
know?
country
Yeah,
class.
there isn't, but wouldn't you think either the previous owner would have said, oh, by the way, there's a big fuck off
Yeah,
septic
here's
tank
what the-
buried underground and you need to get
No,
it
he
emptied
did
every
tell
now
us
and
the
again."
septic tank is right. He did tell us that. He said that he had it pumped a year ago and it's good for 3 years.
So he lied to you.
No. Let me
Oh,
finish my
right.
story before you
Okay,
start telling me I'm
okay.
stupid for not knowing how the septic tank works.
Stupid
So
Duke.
I'm running
Stupid
around
Duke.
going, oh God, what do we do? What do we do? So I call the plumbing place and they go, you need to call the Roto-Rooter place because it may be something, it sounds like it's something that, won't be, when was the last time you had your septic tank pumped? And I was like, well, the dude, before we moved in a year ago, should be good for 3 years. We don't know. So she goes, well, call this place to Rooter. Call the Roto-Rooter place. And I'm like, So I call the Roto-Rooter place. And he's like, yeah, sure, I can help you. What's your first name? And I'm like, I got poop water in the basement. Never mind about what my name is.
So that's a long name.
Mr. Poop Water, how can I help you? So eventually she's like, okay, well, we can definitely have someone come out tomorrow. I'm like, tomorrow? And she goes, but if your tank needs to be pumped, then we can't help you until next week. And I was like, no, just send somebody because I need someone who knows what they're doing, right? The Duchess was kind of like, maybe we can figure. I'm like, no, I'm not figuring out nothing. I want a professional to look at this and help us deal with it.
Professional poop manager man.
Professional
exactly.
Poop drainer.
Send us a poop manager who knows what they're doing. So fortunately, there was somebody in the town next to us, and she goes, oh, he's on his way back. I'll send him to you right before he leaves. And I was like, oh, thank God. So he comes up and he goes, it's a good thing you called when you did. And I'm like, yeah, that's right, Duchess. Anyway, so he comes in. There's this big stone cover on top of our well. So we unlock it and we pull that off. And he looks down and he goes, oh yeah, that's it. He goes to his truck, gets this long skinny pipe and connects it to another long skinny pipe. It's got this little hook on the end. And he puts it down in there and he just, and then it goes boosh. And all this stuff comes flowing out of the main pipe entrance.
No.
And he goes, no, but it's good. He's like, that's it. That's all it was. And I was like, oh, thank God. And the Duchess said, she was in the house at the time. She said, as soon as that happened, like it all started dropping, everything returned to normal. I was like, oh, what
So let me just
hell?
get this straight, dude. What's happened here is you did a massive log that blocked the pipe work.
No.
He got his drain cleaning stuff, cleaned out your huge log, and then all was good.
Incorrect.
No.
False. That is what I was thinking maybe, but no, here's the thing. So there's 3 parts to this process. I don't want to go into too much detail in terms of poop at Chipmunk Hill.
Please do.
But people want to know.
Tell us more.
Yeah. Right. So
wow.
It all empties into the main tank, and then there's a secondary tank. And in those tanks, what it does is it processes for a little while. The solids break down, and then eventually it gets moved into the main field outflow, which is the least waste-ridden stuff. And then the most waste stuff ends up in that second tank, and then that's what you have to get pumped out.
Okay.
But when it goes into the first tank, there's this thing called a baffle, which is like a little wall. And what happens is a little bit of stuff gets at the front of that, and then it flows over that. And then it's going to, move into the main area. Mm-hmm. And apparently some stuff just got clogged up there. And it ended up clogging that pipe, and then it backed up.
Which was your giant turd and a few
So
bits
what he
of
said,
toilet
the
roll.
first question he asked was, what kind of toilet paper do you use? And I was like, normal toilet paper where you get the recycled kind. It's called 7th generation. It's like hippie, And he goes, well, when you put it in some water, how long does it take to break down? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. And he's like, well, here's the thing. You don't want to use, fancy Charmin, whatever. And I said, I guess we're not supposed to enjoy the go, huh? Because we have all these TV ads in the States about enjoy the go.
Did you actually say that to him? Did you actually say that?
I did.
Did he laugh?
He's like, no, you should not be enjoying. Yeah, he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I think he was also very happy about the fact that we were talking to him like he was a person. Because I think a lot of times people are just like, unclog our toilet. I don't want to talk to you.
Deal with my shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not a fun job all the time, I expect.
No, I imagine not.
So anyway.
I imagine you get a lot of shit in that job.
Yeah. And let's be honest,
he's...
we really are talking shit on the show.
So he said there's a brand of toilet paper called I Don't Give a Crap, which is apparently a real toilet paper brand.
That's a good brand.
That's designed to break down very quickly in septic tanks. So he said that's your best bet. In the meantime, I'm like paranoid now about like minimizing my paper use. So I'm going down to like 3 squares a week now. That's it. I'm just,
Get a B-day.
Yeah, get a B-day.
Exactly. I need to get a B-day. And
So are
he
you-
said never flush wipes.
Are you stopping mid-poo so you don't do too much?
I'm just going to the neighbor's house every time.
Half a
Hey, open up. Let me use your toilet.
Snip
Yeah,
one off.
shit in their garden.
Well, to be fair, you could just
Exactly.
dig a hole in your field, Duke. It's big enough.
I could.
Yeah.
It's my field. I'll poop.
your
in
I
my
field.
do
field.
what I want.
Go and poop in a
I'll
hole.
just set up something over the well and then just send it straight
Honestly,
down.
like if
But I was thinking about the ring, of course. 'cause,
you should
know,
get one of those bidet attachments you can get on your toilet, because apparently once you bidet, you never go back. It's like
Well, that's what I hear. Yeah.
it's like reaching nirvana.
B-Day? Wait a minute. You mean that's not for washing your feet in when I was on holiday as a kid?
No. It's for washing your bum hole, Stu.
Oh my God. I used to wash my feet in that. No, I didn't.
No.
I
used to
Not
brush
that
my
that would be
teeth.
a problem, because if people wash their butts in it, it's not like it would be
You don't
offensive
want,
for you to wash
you
your
don't,
feet.
you want poo on your feet.
You
though,
don't
do
poo
Let's be
flakes on-
honest. No,
on
you
your-
do. Yeah, it's stuck between your toes.
You don't think they clean the bidet before you went
No.
in?
People might not clean it.
Well, then why would you stay in a hotel at all? Like, this
Whoa,
bed might
whoa.
be covered in shit.
Yeah, but when you're there for a week, my dad might go and clean his ass, and then I stick my feet in it.
All right, anyway.
Just saying.
The
Can we
takeaway
keep
is...
can we keep talking about this topic, please?
I'm trying to get done.
Okay.
We're good. And because the guy goes, how many people live here? And we're like, it's just me and her. And she goes, oh, man, you're going to be good for 3 years at least. Now, after 3 years, they need to inspect. It's called the baffle, that little mini wall that this stuff goes into, because those can break down. And so that's part of why it has to be pumped every 3 years. But anyway, he said, and I was like, is there any way to, like, check and make sure that little spot that you unclogged is not clogged in the future instead of waiting for it to come up through the basement floor? And he's like, no.
No, it's just the
I'm
way
like,
it is.
Great. But he said, get a pipe and, be ready to just poke it every once in a while if need be. So I guess every 6 months I should just open up the well and jam down a pipe.
Poke your stick in the hole, Duke. Is that what you're
Poke my
saying?
stick in the hole, yeah.
like
So
it.
that's my exciting story from Chipmunk Hill.
Wow.
And hello, Ian and Darren. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
I've-
If you missed the story this
I've
week.
got
I
a
don't know.
leftover biryani.
Oh.
All right. I've got 3 mini muffins that I will be eating through the course of the show.
Excellent
Stu,
stuff.
what do you got to eat?
I've just eaten what I had to eat. I've just had.
Great.
Kay has made some Biscoff Rocky Road,
Ooh.
and it was
She
good.
made ice cream, huh?
No,
Or she
it's
just
Rocky
put some
Road.
ice cream on the biscuit.
No, it's Rocky Road.
Rocky Road is like a chocolate.
Rocky
Okay.
Road. It's like
In the
digestive
United States,
Biscoff
Rocky
biscuit.
Road is a kind
chocolate.
of ice cream flavor. So you'll have to explain what it is.
So
over there.
basically, it's melted chocolate, syrup,
Okay, I got you.
biscuits, marshmallows,
interesting.
cherries
Once again,
sometimes.
Same
and then
word,
you just
two
mash it all
totally different
together,
ideas. Okay.
melt it all down, and let it go solid. So it's like a
Interesting.
very chocolatey biscuit
Well, that sounds delicious.
with Biscoff though, which
I
was
think you need
good.
to send some this way so I can taste it and say, hey, kids, not only do they say aluminium, but here's what they mean by Rocky Road. Lori, head
You
walk.
see, I like what you did there, dude, but you still said it wrong.
What, head walk? What
What?
did you say? Head walk?
He said aluminium. It's not. It's just aluminium.
Right. I should stress the U.
Duke, what did you
Yeah,
say?
don't stress
Head
the U.
walk?
I said ped walk
Pedwalk.
Head walk? Oh, you mean
Pedwalk instead of sidewalk.
no?
Pavement.
The pavement or the pedestrian?
Pavement.
I've
It's just a
also
pavement,
seen
isn't it?
pedwalk.
Ped. I've never heard.
Not in the
pedwalk.
UK, you've not.
Pedwalk is just.
Well, let me
that's,
find out where pedwalk
I mean, you just
is.
made that up.
I didn't
Pedwalk.
make it up.
Yeah. have you
X
ever
marks
heard
the
anything like
pedwalk
that?
is a German band. Okay, so it's from Germany, I guess. Translated into the U.S.
Wow. Pedwalk?
There
What's
you
We
it
do
called?
not have time to say pedestrian.
Okay, so pavement then.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to
Pavement.
keep
All right,
to the
anyway,
curb,
enough
dude.
with
We
the
need to get
English
off.
lessons. Anybody else have a story to tell?
I've got biryani.
Where are you going? Story time's over, isn't it?
I did have.
No,
No,
too
too
late.
late. You had your chance.
Sorry,
You
Stu.
had it locked and loaded like my poop story.
You had the saga that was the gap in the decking last week. You can fuck right off this
That's
week.
right.
Yeah. that is true.
Dick.
But-
Dick.
And I
did
don't want an
have a
update, Stu.
story.
I don't want an update.
But I'm going to save it for the emails.
All right, is there a way? Okay, good. Save it.
There you go.
Thank you for
see.
saving
There
it. All right,
you
I went first
go.
with games last week.
I want
I'm not
I want
going first this time.
emails of if people have bidets in their house. That's what I want.
Yeah,
to know.
you,
Yeah,
who's
there
got
you
to?
go.
You got to be well posh to have a B day, haven't you?
Not
We
these
want
days.
email for a B day, and you
Yeah,
can, or you
yeah.
can pee off.
Ginny, what's
3
your
words with letters.
perception of something that you only get in a posh house?
Oh, that's a good
Shag
question.
carpet.
What is my perception of something that you
Something
only get in
you
a
only
posh
get in a
house?
posh house.
A grandfather clock.
I like that. That's not what I would have thought of, but I like that.
But if you got a grandfather clock, I was like, ah, that's posh.
Yeah,
Like,
it
if you
does
got
have
enough
some
room to have a whole
Yeah.
clock on a fucking thing that does
Okay,
nothing
to
else.
be fair, we have that kind of room. We just don't have.
Well, yeah, but America's different. Like you, for
Yeah.
That's true.
honestly, for like, America's completely different standard. Like a British house, especially one in London, for $500,000 is about like
You get a
3
garage.
rooms.
That's true in New York as well.
Yeah, it's very similar to that. It's like
It
you get
depends
fuck
on which
all.
part of America you're
Yeah,
talking.
you get.
You see,
fuck
I
all.
guess the same would be said for a grand piano.
A grand piano or a baby grand, yeah. Like I think
Baby
even,
grand.
like, a standing piano is a little bit posh. It's not that
Yeah,
posh.
you can get them in a
fetus,
house.
A fetus
though.
grand you could have. Maybe a
Get 'em
fetus
in a
grand.
house.
A
But no,
sperm grand, yeah.
I think a posh house has to have
Yeah.
a walk-in wardrobe,
A walk-in wardrobe.
have
I
one of
think
those.
I think double front doors as well. I think that's quite
double
posh.
front bit, or just a giant front door.
Yeah, just like
You know
if
we
you've
have
got
a
two.
walk, we know we have a walk-in wardrobe.
Yeah, but
Yeah, well,
America's different. Like you
Yeah, we keep telling you
literally
this, dude. You're not
spent
listening.
$20
no, but
and
I'm
had
saying-
4 acres of land.
Yeah, Duke.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Duke.
But I mean, y'all don't live in London, though. I mean,
Yeah, but like we still live in England, and it's. I don't know if you've
Okay,
seen
fair
the map.
Houses are small, dude.
All right.
all right,
But
all right.
there's not a lot of land here,
I-
and
Okay.
as soon as you
All right.
build on a green belt, which is basically anywhere
Oh, you
that's
can't
got
do
like
that.
everybody goes fucking nuts. Everyone, you can't build
Build
there.
there.
And then we was
Tell me what
actually filming on a new build estate for a homes company, right? And we were actually filming in the derelict area just behind the new estate.
Yeah.
And a guy who was walking his dog was saying, they're not building more homes. I was like, hold on, fuck off. You live in a new home there. So you can't complain about new homes here, you fucking twat.
Well, yeah, that's the pattern of gentrification, though. It's like, man, this neighborhood used to be cool. Yeah, my grandmother used to live in this neighborhood. You're living in her apartment, but you
Yeah.
forced her out.
Yeah, yeah. So it's, yeah, I don't know. But it's where I live and where Stu lives, actually, like, our money goes probably quite a long way when you're buying a property. But if you're in London, Manchester, or
not
maybe,
very far.
yeah, I don't know,
gotcha.
maybe Bristol or Brighton and stuff, you're fucked really. So
Anywhere trendy.
Devon as well,
fair
Devon,
enough.
Cornwall,
Yeah,
you're
I
fucked.
gotcha.
So yeah,
The final
Yes.
thing, by the way, the final thing I think a posh house always has, Chinny. And
Go
it
on.
doesn't have to be super posh, but you know, middle of the range posh.
yeah.
Big piles of gold
Yeah,
lying
that middle of
around.
the range. A utility room.
We've got a utility room, but it's a converted outhouse basically.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we've had to
Yeah.
like compromise space for it. So yeah, a utility room is a bit bougie, but a lot of houses come with them now. I feel like.
It's becoming more
Trendy.
common.
Yeah,
common
but
to
it's
have one.
like you don't have the washing machine in the fucking
Ew, no.
kitchen.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't.
Yeah,
what-
Duke, here's a question.
Yes.
Is your washing machine in your bathroom?
No.
No.
You see, because I see a lot of
We do
American...
have, I guess, by that standard, we do have a utility room. It's right next to the kitchen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
you'll
yeah.
have one, yeah.
No, in
You'll have one in
Germany,
your massive house. What are you talking
in
about?
Germany, it's quite common to have washing machines in the bathroom.
I've seen loads of American shows as well where they have the washing machine either in the bathroom or next to the bathroom.
Usually in the U.S., I mean, in the area we live, a lot of times it's in the basement.
Mm, yeah.
It is weird. It's a weird thing.
We don't have basements because
Yeah, we don't have houses that big, Duke.
Well, I didn't.
don't
Yeah,
have
well, I grew up in
basements.
Florida.
My-
Where there's no one has basements in Florida.
My-
And then I come up here to Wisconsin, and every teenager that I work with is like, "Yo, I'm living in the basement." I'm like, "You're living in the basement? What the fuck?" But it's all finished, like this basement. I'm in the basement of the Chipmunk Hill right now.
That is
So-
the basement. So is that
It's a basement.
underground?
This is the basement. Yes.
That doesn't look like a
no,
basement.
It's
doesn't.
half of the basement's underground. So back in that hallway, like the ground starts about there. So,
Oh,
but
that's
there's a walk.
impressive.
So it's Chipmunk Hill. The hill goes down.
It looks
and then
very
I have
bright
a walkout
in-
right over here.
so you
It's
that
very
that
bright.
that
There's a window over
room,
there. There's a window over here. There's a window here.
That room
but
that you're
there's
in-
no windows on that wall.
Duke.
Right.
That room that you're in there, that basement
Yes.
there,
This room.
is that all yours?
Yes. This is
So
my office.
that is
room,
about
the
the size
man
of
cave.
mine and Stu's house.
It is very large.
Yeah, it
yes.
is.
We're very fortunate.
That's like way bigger than my living room.
I want to go
It's
to
very, very
Wisconsin.
large.
Yeah,
I'm
I do.
Very lucky. Yes.
Yes, you are.
Well, come on
Ian
down. You can
Williams.
stay at Chipmunk Hill.
Ian Williams said we don't have basements because of Fred West.
Who's Fred
Probably
West?
True. He was well, he's probably Britain's most prolific serial killer.
Yeah,
apart
serial killer, yeah, he was.
from,
right.
apart from
Like we don't have serial killers in the U.S. If serial killers
No.
disqualified you from having basements, we would not have any basements.
no, but he killed all his victims in the basement. basically.
Yeah, where do you think serial killers in the U.S. do
I
their
guess.
business?
Well, you see, our
Are
most
you seriously talking about video games?
Eventually.
How dare you?
We will be.
Our most prolific serial killer killed his victims in his doctor's office. In his
Well, maybe we shouldn't have
medical-
doctors' offices then.
Yeah, he was a doctor. He killed.
All right.
Well, I
Jimmy,
hope
are
he
you
was a
ready to talk
doctor.
about the play my
Harold
game,
Shipman.
bitch?
Oh
Yes,
shit!
play my
Was there a
game,
playing?
bitch.
Was there? Was the
Of
one?
course there was. There's one every week. Bitch.
So you didn't play it then.
I don't
You
even
haven't
know what
played
it
it?
was.
You're a
It was
nightmare.
Katamari Damacy. It's on Game
Oh,
Pass.
You even said
You
it twice.
numpty. You're so
Yes.
busy celebrating things and
Yeah, not doing what
washing
you're
things in
supposed to.
B-days.
Jesus
Anyway.
Christ.
What
Dangling
else
your
have you been
balls in
playing,
a
Chinny,
B-day?
instead of the game that I begged you to play last
I
week?
did.
Nothing, he's
Yeah,
probably
I
played
did want to
nothing.
play that as well. I just forgot.
Well, I want you to play it. So next week, tune in, people. Next week, we're going to talk all about
I have been chipping away at Plague's Tale again. I know I keep talking about it.
people
I haven't
are
got much
sick.
to say about it apart from I'm on the very, very, very last mission now, where it's like,
okay.
let's get this shit done, folks. And
Have you
Now,
pushed?
do you
have
know
you
it's?
pushed-
How do you know it's the last mission?
because everybody goes, we're gonna fuck shit up now because there's like a
Okay.
bad guy, and there's like a who's like a creepy old man,
Yeah,
and-
that guy.
and then he's got like a kind of like a henchman, like head henchman guy, and I've just
Right.
fucked him up.
Okay.
Okay.
So like, there's
Take
only
that,
the old
henchman.
man left. Yeah. So
So, have you? Can I ask you a question? Have you pushed a wagon up a hill yet? Because
I mean,
I
you
found
can't
that.
forget a thing like that.
No, it's real.
You
I
couldn't have
got-
done it. You
It's
must
probably
not have
because I
done
was shit at it, but I got killed loads of times and found it really frustrating.
is that where
Pushing a
all
wagon
the
up a hill.
killer tornado rats are coming?
Possibly. I can't remember that much, but I
Like a
know you
weird
push.
conversation.
Yeah, you're trying to get to the gates of the castle, and you're pushing this wagon, and you have to use it as a shield.
And is there tornado of rats attacking
don't-
you?
No, that's the end.
No. There's tornado.
No?
There's little rats, tornado rats.
Maybe. But there's loads of soldiers firing arrows.
For
at
the
you, all
listeners,
sorts of shit.
I'm not saying a tornado of rats for comic effect. I'm actually
It
saying
really is a tornado.
Literal
and that isn't a
tornado
clever
filled with
name for an
rats.
enemy. It's a
Nope.
fucking tornado of rats.
of rats.
So
I don't
It's a
know.
good game,
you'll
though.
know. It is a good game. It is good. It's a good story as well. It's a pretty good story.
well,
It's
I won't
decent.
give you that.
It's decent.
It's all right.
It's all right.
That
I think
sounds
it's all right.
decent. I don't
It's
think you're
decent.
arguing.
It's decent.
Goog.
Boo,
I think you'd like it. I think you'd be all right with it. You know.
Well, I had a chance to get it for free on the Epic Game Store, and I didn't because I got so many games to play already.
Well,
But you could have still
Sorry.
got it even if you didn't play. What's the matter with you?
But I already have 30 games from the Epic Game Store that I've done.
Don't
for
we all,
exactly
Duke?
that reason, and not.
Dude,
Don't we all?
I've got thousands of games
then
on
what's the
Steam I've never
point?
played.
I don't know. I don't know what the point of
I like
anything
owning
anymore.
shit.
It's like on 30 Rock. I don't understand why we're yelling, but I am not accustomed to losing an argument.
God.
So unfortunately, that's the only thing that I've played. That and
He
I
didn't
played.
even play my game, bitch, and then he.
No, I
didn't
played a
play
little bit
anything
of
else.
Splinter Cell
Write
Black.
it down. Write yourself a memo.
Yeah, play
Splinter Cell
games.
Blacklist.
Play a game
with Simeon.
once in a while.
Well, no, Katamari Damacy. Don't be
Yeah, any
asking
game,
on
any game. I
Sunday
don't-
afternoon. Hey, wait, what was I
Yeah,
supposed to play?
Stu, did you actually tell me to write a note to
I
go
did.
Find yourself to
play a
a
game?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not
You'll
playing
see
any,
it on
have you?
Friday and go,
My
oh, yeah, I
word.
should play a game. Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
No, I'm afraid that's me. So I'm just sort of. I'll just be a listener this week.
Not like
I'll
last
be.
week.
I'll be a heckler.
Okay.
Heckler.
Stu, what do you
Shut
got?
the fuck up.
Well, here's the interesting thing, Duke. Right. I'm going to say it's quite so she doesn't hear. But I love my wife very much. Right?
Oh,
and I
that's
do.
butt.
I do.
Go ahead, say
But-
the butt part.
but-
Yeah.
Are you aware? My wife. Are you aware she does term time holidays?
What's term time holiday?
So basically, she only works during term time. She's a bit like you, Duke, really, but she's not
Okay.
a teacher.
right.
So she gets all the school holidays off. So she's
Okay.
off for 6 weeks in the summer. She gets 2 weeks.
Okay,
in the
right,
winter,
yeah.
Oh,
blah,
Stu
blah,
hasn't
blah,
had
blah,
time
blah.
to play games.
Well, when I'm on my days off, she's here
Oh, so annoying.
and stuff.
So,
So
you
So
think the
annoying.
Duchess isn't here on the weekends?
yeah, I get that. But
And we went riding bikes yesterday, and I still found time to
Oh.
play games.
I know, but I can't just, she'll,
I actually don't care. I'm not mad at you. It's okay.
That
you didn't
being
have
said,
time to
I
play
have played.
games, you
I
didn't
have
time
played
to
some
play
games.
I'm not going to turn into Stu. I'm not going to. Why do you lie? You didn't play your rubbish.
Don't worry. I had that to contend with, and I still play games unlike Chinny.
Okay, great.
That's not because
That
I'm
was a
scared of
fake
my
build-up,
wife.
then.
Oh.
That's not because I'm scared of her. It's because I've been playing snooker and
My wife.
celebrating family occasions.
A new,
Well, fuck your family and fuck snooker. Start playing video games.
a new Japanese RPG came out on Game Pass this week.
Ooh.
This last week.
Which one is
So I was
that?
like, it sounds quite intriguing. It's called Library of Ruina.
Ooh.
I was like, oh, that sounds quite cool. Libraries
sounds
and
wank.
stuff. Shut up. I was like, this sounds interesting.
Enchantment?
Library. And it's in Ruina, I'm guessing. So I
hope
downloaded said game to give it a go. And yeah, here's the thing, right? You know I like weird games and stuff. So
Guess so.
and Japanese games I tend to like, so I'm like, I'm bound to like this
Do
game.
you though? Do you?
Well,
Oh yeah, he does.
I'm beginning to wonder, if I'm being honest. I am beginning to question my judgment
Yeah.
because
Finally,
this
it's only took 11 years.
No, it's took the Library of Ruina is what it's took. Yeah, Chinny, you know you don't like reading. This game is not for you.
No.
It's just weird, right? So basically, the game introduces you in this library. This weird woman is doing stuff to you, but you can't really tell. It's like some sort of weird mental thing, and she's injuring you. It's a bit like the Invincible Knight off Monty Python, because she chops your leg off first, although it doesn't
Alright.
show your leg being chopped off.
It's
Then
just
she
a fresh
chops your
wound.
arm off. Then she chops your other leg and arm off. And she's doing all this weird torture stuff to you, right? And you're going, oh, stop. And then all the writing goes blurry,
What
which
does
I
it
thought was
sound
a
like?
nice touch.
Nice.
And then she suddenly changes, and you change, and you're back to normal, and your limbs are all fine. And she's this, well, the girl you can see on screen now with blue hair, right? And then she starts talking to you as though nothing happened.
So for people
That's a lot of JRPGs though. I
So for
mean,
people who are wondering what this looks like, it looks like just two people on one left, one right, and some text on the bottom, and they're not
Yep,
moving.
yep.
It's just the most boring. It looks like Phoenix Wright.
It's just weird. It's just weird. Right. Then she explains all this. You have to invite people to the library to get more library books. But these people who come have different books, but you only get the books when you fight them. It's just the
Okay.
weirdest game, right? So I was like, right. So I did this, and then there's this big cutscene with these weird people who are harvesting organs or something. And this girl's
Okay.
cutting up this body, and she's like, oh, there's all this weird mush. It's like someone's mushed all his insides up. How are we supposed to sell these? And I'm like, who are you selling them to make cash?
people.
Then, amongst all of the guts, she finds an envelope, and in
Ooh,
the
an
envelope is the invitation to come to the library.
Oh, sweet. So you can go to the library.
So they go to the library, and then when they get to the library, you have to fight them, and when you kill them, they turn into a book.
Oh, sweet. So you can fill your library by killing people.
Yeah,
Just to
Yeah,
remind
pretty
people,
much.
this is called Library of Ruin.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Pretty much.
Ruina.
No, Ruina. Get it right.
Oh, I'll
Ruina.
put
It sounds
Come
far
on.
more exotic. But you get all, it's like a card turn-based combat, and I had no
Okay.
idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I was just clicking on random cards and hoping it would work. And eventually I did win, but it took ages.
Well done.
I know. It wasn't by skill, it was by complete chance. And then when you finish, you put the book in your collection or something.
Well,
and
of
I
course
was
you do. It's like
like,
Pokemon, except with books.
So it's a turn-based JRPG, basically.
it's a turn-based JRPG disguised as an interactive novel with some weird
Well,
combat.
those genres are meshing, and they've been meshing.
Honestly, I have no clue what was going on.
It looks confusing
Seriously.
and weird, and I don't think I would like it.
It is
Nope.
very, very, very weird. I mean, I've played a lot of JRPGs in my time, and most of
You've
them,
played some.
well, I've played some, and I don't like a lot of them, but I can sort of almost accept what they are.
Yes.
But with this, I was just like, what? the hell
If this is
is
weird for
this?
Stu, I mean, this man loves Persona and
Exactly. This
you
is
know,
no
Yakuza
Persona. Can I
and-
just,
right.
Yeah, can I just clarify?
Danganronpa, but he finds this weird.
Yeah,
That says
but
something about this game.
in the defense of those games that you've mentioned,
Yeah.
to an extent, they might be a little bit weird, but they do make some sort of sense.
If you say so.
And I
Never
understand the
gone near 'em.
combat in those games.
Yeah. Okay.
In this game, I have no idea what the hell was going on story-wise because it was just.
Now let me
weird.
ask you this question though: in terms of
Yeah.
the combat, like, were you trying hard to understand it, or are you just like,
Kind
I'll
of.
just hit a bunch of stuff? Okay.
Well,
I mean, I'm not judging. I'm
know.
just saying, like, some games require that concentration.
I get what you're saying, and you are right.
Does it need a better tutorial?
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, it sounds like it's not very.
But it's that's part of the problem. But the other issue is, like normally with turn-based combat, one takes a turn, another takes a turn, then you take a turn, or whatever, right?
Yes.
In that order. But in this one, there was one character who just kept hitting me over and over again.
Well,
I
maybe
couldn't
they have
un-
like a power or something.
I don't know. I couldn't understand why I couldn't hit her back.
There, in most of these games, there's like a stack of like, here's who's gonna go next, and then here's who's gonna go after
Yeah.
them, and then
Yeah.
But
There
you didn't
maybe
get one of
is,
those.
but could I figure that out? I had
It's
no
possible
idea
it's there.
who was meant to go next. But yeah, I won that battle, and then I turned it off and uninstalled it. 'Cause I was
Deleted.
like- yeah, I'm
I
like,
don't
this
blame
is not for me. I'm sure some people will love this game somewhere, but
Fraser Moore says he has this downloaded.
yeah, Fraser,
Yeah.
I'd love to know what you
Give it a
think of
whirl
this.
and let us know what you
I
think.
just
Send
said
us a speak
thoughts,
pipe.
but you might not have played
Or
it. Think of this game.
Start your own podcast. Oh wait.
Yeah, do it on yours. It's might you do a podcast, Fraser, and then you can tell us what you think.
Nah,
There you go.
too many of them.
Eh,
Yeah, there's too
much
many of
work
them
to go
podcasts.
find it and listen to it. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to know what Fraser thinks of this game because it's weird.
Yeah.
I was going to say terrible, but it probably is that as well. Although maybe
Well,
not.
it doesn't
to
sound
some
like you found
people.
it terrible necessarily.
No, it's not terrible. I just didn't understand
Confusing.
what the hell was going on.
Right.
Yeah, it was very confusing.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I'm done. Anyway, dude, what have you played?
Okay. Well, unlike Stuart, I'm gonna thank the people who came to our play date and start with that. 'Cause
Oh,
we had an awesome play date. It was me, it was Stu, it was Nezzy, and that's it. Thanks
That's
a
it.
lot, you turds, for
No, we
not
needed-
coming to our
we
play
only
date.
needed fucking 4 people.
Yeah, we needed 4 people. We had 3. But you
Yeah.
know what? It was fun with those 3. So shout out to Nezzy. What? From the Overseas Connection, right? That's where he's at.
It is? No.
Yeah.
No, he isn't.
What?
It's,
What's he
it's
on?
a joysticks and chill.
Joysticks and chill. Sorry, my bad.
Wow.
Yeah. So sorry. Anyway, but it was fun to play with him. And for some reason, he left the Discord after like 2/3 of the way through, and then he just went to Game Mic, and we're like, okay. So Stu kept talking only in the Discord, but I was pressing T to talk.
I
so
couldn't
could
be
talk
asked
to
doing that.
Nezzy. But Nezzy couldn't hear Stu, of course. So I'm
Yeah, I
having these
remember
2
reaching
conversations.
over.
at
Now I
once.
know why
Well,
you.
he should have stayed in the Discord,
No,
shouldn't he?
now I know
agree,
why
he
you went to
should
the game chat.
Yeah, exactly. That was a fucking
Exactly.
cheat.
But we also played with this guy named Vorder or whatever his name
No,
was.
V World. No,
V World, yeah, something
no,
like that.
Z
But
World.
it doesn't matter what his name was. He's not listening.
Yes,
nobody
keep going
cares.
with that.
Z World.
And he kept running ahead, and we're like, dude, it's a game that requires you to stick together. We've played this game series before. Trust us. So for those who don't know, this is the 3rd game. For some reason, it's called Back 4 Blood in the series of Left 4 Dead. If it's not called Left 4 Dead 4, it's called Back 4 Blood.
Yeah, but that's because it's nothing to. Well,
whatever.
it is
I don't
to-
care. It doesn't matter.
It's not.
Um,
It's not published by Valve. Valve owned the rights to Left 4 Dead, hence why it can't
Same
be called
basic
that.
concept. You're killing zombies. You're shooting things. It's next level. For those who don't know, Left 4 Dead 2 came out really soon after the first one, so it was almost identical. It was a little more difficult, more story-based, but for the most part, it was identical. This game has quite a bit of difference. The most immediate thing that you realize when you play it is that the movement is not as speedy and glitchy. It's slower. It's more deliberate. You have more ability to move around, so you kind of automatically vault over stuff, which is nice. You can aim down sights, which Stu mentioned as soon as we started playing, because I didn't even know you could do that. Which again is nice because you're aiming, and the guns have, first of all, instead of just sort of finding whatever's lying around, there's much more of an emphasis on buying a certain gun or finding a gun that you like, and then just you have to find the ammo for that type. In the old games, you'd have a big pile of ammo and you would just max out whatever ammo you have. But in this game, you have to get, if you have a shotgun, you have to get shotgun shells, which is more realistic. I don't know if I would say it's more or less fun. What would you say, Stu? In terms of the ammo alone?
I think I found I had the shotgun most of the time, the pump action shotgun, and there always seemed to be enough ammo. I was never short of ammo ever.
Yeah, that's the nice thing, is that there is a lot of ammo lying around. In the old games, you had infinite ammo in your handgun. Not anymore. So if you find yourself running out of all the ammo, you're going to be in a world of hurt.
There are some things I like. I mean, one of the things I liked about it was just generally the visual stuff. Like when you shoot a load of zombies in a horde, you're absolutely covered in blood. Your gun's covered, you're covered. I mean, at one point, dude was just red from head to foot.
Yeah.
You know, there was you could barely see any like part of him that just wasn't covered in. Well, you can see that here. One of the survivors here is absolutely covered in blood.
Yeah,
completely
and
red.
It's, you know, but it's very well done. Like, I had a lot of fun with it. We didn't get a lot of special zombies in apparently the campaign. Whereas in the old games, there were maybe 4 parts to a campaign. Now there's 8. So the campaigns are longer. And the first 3 sections of it, we didn't really have. We had maybe 1 special zombie in each of those sections.
And we got that line, the ogre mini boss, didn't we? That came back.
Yeah, we had an ogre mini boss, which was huge and had a special health bar. And we sort of got it about halfway down, and then it went into the ground, and we didn't see it again
until a bit further on. But
further on,
I did make the joke that it were leftover assets from Evolve, because it did look like an Evolve creature. Yeah. It was like quite a big creature.
Yep.
Mm.
So, but then we got to the 4th part, and it was just brutal.
It was.
It was so hard, and it felt like 6 specials showed up at once.
Yeah, it was relentless.
They just pummeled us. And I would like to know if it's, you know, because in the previous games, there's this sort of AI director that figures out if you're having a hard time or if you're having an easy time, and it adjusts the difficulty on the fly. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is like, we'll give you the first 3 levels kind of easy so that you have fun with it, and then we'll show how brutal and punishing we can be by having that 4th part be just.
You see, I don't know whether it was you who said it or whether it was Nezzy who said it, but regarding grinding to get more stuff, then you can complete the next time through. Right. Because there's this other thing where we should mention is, Chinny, you only get so many replays. So when you die too many times, that's the end, and you have to start again from the beginning, which is a bit frustrating, if I'm being totally honest.
But there's also there's copper that you find in the game, and then in the safe houses you can buy ammo and more grenades with that copper, which doesn't make any sense in terms of why you would need to buy stuff during the zombie apocalypse. Not in a safe house anyway.
No, in a remote box in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly, right. And then there's also these cards, and you get like, I don't remember what they're called, but they're like campaign success points or something. So over the course, you finish certain parts of the mission, you get some of these points. And then apparently when we went back to the camp, when we failed the campaign after that 4th section, it said, you have 12 campaign points to spend or whatever it is. So my guess is that, you're supposed to like get somehow a little stronger by spending those points, and then maybe you'll have an easier time of it next go around.
Yeah, I feel like, and I hate to say this, but I feel like you're going to be able to buy stuff with real cash. Either copper coins you're going to be able to buy.
I wouldn't be
or
surprised.
Something. And I feel like they've made the difficulty curve almost a straight line once you get to that 4th section. That you'll buy stuff with real money so that you can be a bit more powerful the next time and get through it. I don't know. It just feels, it felt too much. It felt too...
Right. Whatever the reason, it was very frustrating to have 3 sections that were fun and kind of challenging at times. There were moments when I needed to be healed or someone went down and we had to help them up. But then that 4th part, like we got halfway through it. There's this bridge you're supposed to cross, and like they just all came out. We're getting down on the bridge. Stu got knocked over the edge. Nezzy's got knocked into the water and all this. And then one of the dude, I guess Z World or whatever his name is, got to the end, and we could see that there was like, pick up these explosives and put them on the boat. And he just was wandering around shooting zombies. And we're like, dude, get the explosives. You can finish the level.
But
So-
I don't think it would have been easy even if we'd have got there, because you've got to
I don't
you've
think
got to
so,
go
yeah.
back onto the boat, plant
Right,
the X.
right.
And the zombies at that point were relentless. He just kept on coming. Like at most sections of the game, especially in the early 3 parts of this level, they would stop at some point. You know, you would have quite. You know, it was
Right.
almost
You
like
get some
a
time to
finite
catch your breath.
amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Whereas I felt like once in that 4th level, once the horde began, that was kind of it.
And especially when you shoot the birds.
I shoot birds at the airport. Everybody
Yeah.
hates birds. Right?
That's one of the things that attracts the horde, and I didn't realize it. So there's a little exclamation point that's like, "Don't shoot these birds." And I looked at it, I'm like, "Hey, there's an exclamation point. I better shoot where it's pointing." Oh wait, whoops! I had alerted the horde. Ah.
Yeah. Here's a question
They all
though.
came a-running.
Here's a
Yes.
question.
Yes.
The birds attract the zombies, but you shooting off loads of rifles doesn't.
Exactly. They
Kind of
they don't mind
impressive,
that at all.
really.
But
Those
once
birds
it-
are way.
once
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a
a
bird
bit of a
sound, oh, they're
squawk.
in.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
in there, man. Never mind. We're not bothered about that rifle noise.
Yeah. But the
Fuck
other thing
that.
is that this game is doing differently is that it has these cards. You're supposed to build a dick. Dick. Get it? Sounds
build
like
a big dick.
Right. So you have certain perks that are like more ammo, or one of the ones that I really like is each melee kill heals you a little bit. So
And
when
that
we
kind of
got
a cool graphic for that as well. Every time you
Oh,
swing,
very
you,
cool.
you glow green.
exactly because I ran out of ammo, and so I had to use my axe, and I was killing the zombies, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting healed a little bit, right? So that was kind of nice. It didn't last very long. I eventually got taken down, but still, it's kind of cool. So I think that the combination of the success points, the copper, the deck that you're building, those are supposed to make it into more of an ongoing experience. Whereas in the past, the Left 4 Dead games were all about like, play this, campaign and that's it, right? This little mini campaign, it'll last you an hour and you're done. Now I think they're trying to make it more of a, ongoing thing. You develop your character, you have your deck, and those elements I don't really care about. I don't really like those.
No, and the other
The rest
thing
of the game though, I thought was awesome.
I did and I didn't, because do you know what? And I've been trying to think about this. I don't think I ever finished a campaign in Left 4 Dead 2 because I just kept getting killed in the final boss fight thing. Even when I played with other people, I don't think I ever finished one.
Yeah.
And I just stopped playing it. And I think a similar thing may happen with this, where you want to, if you don't get that reward. I mean,
Right.
especially the fact, right? We've been through 3 levels, got to the 4th level, all got killed, and that meant we couldn't just start at the beginning of that. Like in Left 4 Dead, you could start from the safe room, couldn't you? If you got killed
Well, we
during
did
the
though.
sex.
We did start from the safe.
No,
oh,
we
you mean like
didn't.
after the second time?
No, when we had ran out of replays or whatever it was, that was
Right.
that.
No. I know. But I'm saying we had one replay
Yeah.
that we tried to
yeah,
cross the
which is
bridge. We all
fine.
died, and then
But
we started
why-
again from the safe room.
but
But
why
then
do you
no,
not-
you're right. Yeah.
Why the
After
fuck
that,
do I
and
want
it's
to
like,
play
oh, you
through
have to
3
start all
more
over.
sections
Right.
all over again from the
Yeah,
fucking
no, I
beginning?
agree.
They could have
I
just
agree.
started you from the safe room again.
Now,
Why
to
do
be
we have
fair,
to have
we
these
don't-
limited replays.
I mean, we don't know for sure that you couldn't because we didn't try, but it probably
No, it just dumped you
didn't
back
allow
in
you.
the camp, didn't
No,
it?
I
as
know,
soon
I
as
know,
that
but it's
ended. So
possible that they'll be
definitely
like, "Oh,
could
you
have.
finished the first 3 parts of this." I don't know.
I'm not. I'm
It's
thinking you
unlikely.
can't.
I doubt that's what happens, but
Yeah, because what would be the point of a continue limit?
right.
Very
So
annoying.
Fraser's commenting on the thing. It was a big bag of all right. We use the game chat, worked pretty well across PC and Xbox. As a team, you can carry ammo for your teammates. If you all play different guns, it works well. That's true. But the difficulty, I agree with Stu that the difficulty is so intense.
The
on that
difficulty is
fourth part.
intense, and it doesn't reward you for persevering because it just goes, fuck you, you're back in the camp, you all died. And I'm like, I don't want to be grinding in a zombie shooter game just
Well,
to get through a level.
Right. And I mean, look, if they kept putting us back into that safe room before the 4th part, and you could grind a little bit each time you tried
exactly. I'd
that
be
4th part,
fine
that
with
would be
that.
okay. We wouldn't
yeah,
mind
yeah.
that.
No, I'd be
But
fine
the
with
idea of playing all 3 over
that.
and over,
The
yeah,
like
so-
earlier chapters again just to get to
Right.
that chapter.
Right.
I'm like, No.
Yeah.
Why? I'm not fucking putting money into a slot machine because that's how it felt. It felt like an old-fashioned arcade cabinet. Do you know what I mean? Because they were
I know what you mean.
skewed to make it too difficult for you to complete, so
And
that
then
you had to
look,
keep
it's
putting
okay.
your money in.
Devil's advocate, though, it's possible that when you play, when we played through, we got the success points and cards in our deck or whatever. It's possible that if we were to spend some time trying to figure out, okay, what we're going to do with those success points, how are we going to make our deck better, it's possible that we would find it easier and easier as we went through. And maybe the next time we got to that 4th level, we would be able to go through it because we were doing it blind this time.
Maybe, but you know what?
Maybe.
For me, that just sucks the fun out of it.
I hear you.
It's just sucking the fun out of what that game is meant to be. Here's the other thing I read.
I want to know more about it.
I'll play it, but I'm not convinced I'm going to play a whole lot of it. If I'm being totally honest, I did enjoy it. Right, I'm with you. It looks great. I take back what I said about it not looking that great when I saw it. I think it's absolutely fine for what it's doing, and some of the flame effects look really nice. But
High tainted brain.
But here's the other thing I read today is.
Yes.
In Left 4 Dead, you could do the campaign verses where you played as a specials while the others were trying to get through it like in a normal campaign.
Is that not in
That's
this?
not going to be in it. There isn't one.
But there is a versus mode.
Yeah, but it's literally just like a battle, like a deathmatch type thing.
Okay, I got you. Well,
and I'm like, why?
That's unfortunate.
That was one of my favorite bits because that was so fun playing with your friends. I mean. The amount of fun I had pinning you down that night when we played, and I pinned you down about 3 times as a hunter. It was a lot, and we killed you all within seconds, and it was so much fun. Not for you, obviously.
He never misses a chance to bring.
No, I don't. Not for you, obviously, but that's what made it fun because it was like you knew the maps, you knew what you were doing.
Exactly.
With this, I don't know. I hate to say it, right? Because Evolve failed. And I wanted them to do something good with Back 4 Blood, right? Because I thought maybe, they could improve it and do other stuff, like they've got the extra weapons.
In some ways, this is much improved. I do think it's a big improvement in some ways.
But I don't like the game structure.
I agree. Which is why I kind of want to try it again, because I want to see if my second go through of this part of the campaign would be as painful. And it might be. If so, I'm like, yeah, screw it. But if it's not, then I want to be open to that.
But I think the other problem is, and I agree with what you're saying, we might get through it the next time we have a go. But in the back of your mind, there's always that, I'll probably get killed and we'll have to do it all again. And I think that would put me off because I'd just be like, I don't want to constantly have to be redoing
I hear you.
stuff.
But, to try something twice, I think, especially if there's a lot, like if I go to a restaurant and I like the appetizer a lot and then my entree turns out to be I'll probably go back to that restaurant and be like, I'm going to try a different entree and hope that I get something as good as that appetizer. That's how I feel about this game. I'm going to go back to it.
My gut instinct is I'll play it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, right. This is probably the litmus test, as they say.
Yeah.
But if this wasn't on Game Pass, I probably wouldn't buy it.
I hear you, and I don't blame you. I don't think I'm going to buy it. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to Game Pass. I don't know. But here's the other thing I'll say that I really liked about the game, and I didn't write it down, but I should have. It has hit markers, which is very nice in a shooter. A lot of games don't have them, but this does. And they're white when you land a hit on the zombies, and they're red when you kill one. And that's so rewarding. I really like that. So,
yeah, don't get me wrong. I do think they've designed a really good game. I do. But I just feel like it's potentially going to get spoiled by fucking microtransactions, copper coins, and bullshit you don't need.
Yeah, the other thing I'll say about that, though, is this. There are a number of games that have come out in recent years that had problems with them. The audience reacted very negatively, and then the developer changed it. So it is possible that they might change things if it is what we think it is. I also just think that having a difficulty option is just a good thing for every game to have. And in a game like this, okay, you got 4 people, so maybe there's a way to queue up for the punishing super difficult, there's a way to queue up for super easy, and there's a way to queue up for kind of medium difficulty.
I have no idea because you can choose a difficulty. It's like survivor mode, isn't there? There is different.
Is there? I didn't even realize there was a difficulty mode.
Yeah, so there's different difficulty levels. But what happens if you choose different difficulty levels? I don't know.
Well, right. I mean, presumably, it'll send you to different a different queue, or maybe it averages them or something. I don't know.
Anyway, I liked
mixed
it.
reactions.
I wasn't blown
generally
away.
Positive, but it's got some problems.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
But I'll play it some more. I'm sure. You know, the
I will
betas- how
do.
long is the
No,
beta
I
good
am
for?
gonna give it some effort. I'm not gonna write it off completely.
Anybody in the chat know how long the Back for Blood beta is?
I think it was a week, wasn't it?
Is it a
Was
week?
it a week? It feels
Start
like it was
date
a
and
week.
End times. Ba-ba-da-ba-da, when is the start time? When is the end time? 3 p.m. Eastern on August 16th. So tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought it was a week.
Maybe I'll play some more tonight. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe. I'm like I
I gotta do
say.
schoolwork tomorrow.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Right, I'll
Okay,
go
you,
next.
Stu. That's you.
I'll
yes.
go next because there's no Chinny because he's talked about everything he's played. Which is
Just
one
talk
thing.
about you.
This just makes me want to play Left 4 Dead.
I bought
Yeah, well.
right, Chinny.
What?
Play my game, bitch. Right.
Yeah.
Not Katamari because that game's shit anyway. But
Hey, no jump in the line.
well, he should have played it this week. So you know that's his
Never
own
mind,
fault.
he didn't, so he was gonna play it next week. Save yours for recommending it next week.
So, anyway, right, Chinny, play
Hmm.
my game, bitch. Walkabout mini golf on the
Oh yeah, he's
Oculus
gonna jump right
Quest.
on this.
Because I
Is this
bought this.
Australia?
I bought this in the sale a couple of weeks back, right? And I was like, it looks pretty good. And it was
this
either
is
on
VR.
sale. Yeah, it's VR. And it's great. I love this game. So it's basically crazy golf, pretty much. There's about, I think it's 6 different courses. I've played 2 of them. And I know it's good because it seemed to go so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really well designed. Some of the holes are really clever. And the physics work beautifully. You know, when you're hitting the ball, it feels correct. It feels correct. I mean, that for me is one of the best compliments you can give a VR game.
What was it called? Walkabout.
Walkabout me. I think it's about 15 quid or something. It's not hugely expensive. But you can play up to 5 players in multiplayer.
Yeah, Chinny can play up to 5 players.
And I've had a look at the multiplayer. It looks pretty good. It looks like it works pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it's got that collectible itch, you know. I don't normally like stuff like that. But on each hole on every course, there's a lost ball you have to find. And they're all different designs, so you can then use them to play with. And I kind of like that. And I found myself spending ages just looking for the lost balls on each hole of the course. But the first
Trust
course...
you to leave a mini golf.
I know.
Play
I
the
know,
mini
yeah.
game.
Exactly. But the first course I played is this almost like a Caribbean island thing. And it was almost like playing as Guybrush Threepwood on Monkey Island playing mini golf. And it even had like sea shanty music in the background. Yeah, it was well, it wasn't like that because that's not like sea
No,
shanty.
it was exactly like
But it had the sea shanty music. The whole, like I said, the holes are really well designed. Which I'd love people to see, but for some reason we're still looking at back.
Oh God! You always say that as I'm
You know
doing
what I
it.
mean?
You always,
You know,
every
the
both of
listeners
you.
on
No, I'm talking to
on the
both of you
screen.
now. You know, oh, it'd be good if we saw it on the screen. Well, I'm always doing it as you're saying it. Oh, shut up.
But to be fair, he's been talking about it for about 3 minutes, and he
all
did
right,
link it
yeah.
in the notes. Like, if he
Yeah,
didn't link it
I
in the notes,
did.
that'd be one thing. You had to go hunting for it.
It's
But
on the
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
screen now.
anyway,
You're just
yeah.
15
And I
seconds.
think I'm
behind.
going to run out of things
yes,
to say
right.
before
Go
you
ahead,
put it-
Stu. Go ahead, Stu.
There you go. Look at that.
Go ahead, Stu.
Great for
And
our
then what-
audio listeners.
So
Yeah,
it works really, really well, right? And it's so cool. You just pull the trigger and that sticks you exactly where you need to be to hit the ball, which is perfect. You can walk manually if you want between holes. There's always steps or pathways, or you can just press the trigger on your controller and that just takes you to the ball ready to go. So you can do what
Yes.
you like.
Okay.
What's really cool is when you finish the round, you get like you stood in the middle of a diorama of the whole course,
Mm-hmm.
like a tiny version of it, and you can like point to any hole and it'll tell you what score you got, what's your best score, what was your last score.
That's
and
great.
all that kind
Here's
of
the
stuff.
question that people really want to know.
Yeah.
If you were to swing the thing and miss, could you like slam your club on the ground and bend it?
No,
Why not?
but
That would be one of the
they-
best reasons to play mini golf in VR. And then, like, if there's like
guess.
a little clown and you miss it with the clown, and you could hit the clown in the face,
Yeah,
that would be
you know,
awesome.
hit the clown in the face.
It would be very cathartic.
Okay. But here's the thing that they have thought of though. You can't You can't
You
break.
can
your
walk
club.
from hole to hole.
But the bottom of your club is always on the ground. By which what I mean to say is, if you bend forwards or backwards, the club shortens, but the head of the club is always there, so it doesn't disappear into the green, which I thought was a really good touch.
That does make sense.
sort of
in
locked
It's
it
a
to
really
the
nice
ground.
touch.
So
Having
you
not have-
figure out where your lightsaber club extends to. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, I will talk about another golf game in a minute that doesn't do this, which was pretty.
Hang on, people.
not very
If you
good.
haven't gotten enough discussion about VR
I
golf
know.
yet, there's
I
more
know.
coming. Don't
There
worry.
is more golf coming. So I did then play a space station based course, and that was
Okay.
cool. I've got to say, Chinny, we have
Is it
to
on a
play
space
this
station?
together.
Yeah, it looks
Come on,
good.
Chinny.
Yeah.
We have to play this together. And what is also
I don't know where my
very-
VR headset is, but we'll have to.
I know, yeah, you'll have to dig that. Oh, you never know. You might have to get your battery strap
I
on.
know, yeah. I'll probably have to like
Who
open
knew?
that at some point.
Who knew? But yeah, I was very, very impressed for the price. I think you're getting a lot of like value for money, and they also keep adding new courses as well, so they keep on updating this for free, which is excellent. I
Well,
think
what
it
else they
starts-
got to do?
Well, I guess, but they could be working on another game, couldn't they, or doing something
Nah.
else?
Or give you
Well-
a DLC where you can smash your clubs.
Smash your clubs. That's it. I want to bend my club in two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was very, very impressed. I totally recommend it. You've got a quest, buy this and play with us. Play
Did
with
that
us.
person put his head down and block the other person's shot?
No, I
Yeah,
think he was
because it's-
obstructing like the view of the hole.
It does it in
Oh.
real time as well, by the way, on the multiplayer. Whereas a lot of these
That's a
things
good way
are,
to troll each other.
are asynchronous.
Yeah.
This thing has you both out I can't imagine what it'd be like with 5 people there. Out
Chaos.
playing
It's like when
on
you
the
go to
course.
an actual VR golf course and you sit around waiting all day for Jimmy to finally get the ball in the hole.
But yeah,
As
I like
people
this
wait
game.
behind you, going, "Hurry up, Jimmy!"
Exactly.
Jimmy
But
goes,
what's
"I'm gonna
cool?
go to the bathroom."
What's very satisfying, I didn't mention this. What's very satisfying is when you finish your round, when you go back to like the home area, all the new balls you've collected, you know, lost balls, they just all come down a big chute. And so But yeah, I really loved it. Very good. And then when you finish the day mode, if you get under par or you collect 10 lost balls on a course, it unlocks night mode. So you can play the same course at night time with like pretty lights and stuff.
Ooh, all right.
I know.
That does
So
sound
yeah,
nice.
very impressed with Walkabout Mini Golf. Very impressed.
Okay.
VR's the future, everyone.
VR is the future. And then I got the itch because I'll carry on because it's kind of connected. And then I got the itch, right? Because I thought, I wonder what proper they've just released.
Did you see a doctor about the itch or?
I did. It was in a funny place.
He scratched himself with his virtual golf club.
I did. So I was like, I wonder, there's a proper golf game, you know, where you can swing clubs and stuff.
Mhm.
You can swing clubs in a mini
As well,
golf.
virtual.
As
clubs,
opposed to what
virtual.
kind of golf game?
Well, where you can, you know, where it's actually a
Shit
proper
golf
golf.
game where you have to
No, golf course, you
fart
know,
the
rather
ball.
than.
Yes, I know what you
mini-golf.
mean.
Proper
Right.
golf course. With
You're really
paying
whacking the ball like
drivers
a
and all
long
that stuff.
distance. Yes, okay.
And there's a new one that had come out, and I was like, well, I've looked at this, and it's like, it's all right, but it's not as good, right? Like, it's not as good as Xverience Golf Club on the, you know, like the experimental app lab thing. So I was like, oh, I'll try that then, because that sounds better, and it's probably cheaper. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake.
Uh-oh.
It was a bit of a mistake. This,
What's wrong with it?
well, it was all right-ish. It was all right-ish until I came to putting, and then for some reason my putter wouldn't connect with the ball. And
So
yet-
you suck at putting, right? Go on.
yeah, and if you're too, if you can't get you have to alter the length of the club manually. So if it's too long, it's stuck in the ground, which is no
Okay.
good because obviously the hit detection.
So you
is
do
what-
have to try to figure out how long your lightsaber.
yeah,
style
yeah, yeah.
golf
You've got to
club is
figure
here
out
in this
all that
game.
bullshit, right?
Oh,
and
that's
it's
annoying.
all wonky, right? And
Yeah.
it doesn't work properly. And and when I was putting, I just kept hitting the ball when I weren't supposed to hit it. And when I tried to hit it, it wouldn't hit it.
So let me ask you this question:
Oh,
If they were to sell a peripheral that had some sort of sensor at the bottom of the golf club,
yeah.
you think that would help?
No, because you'd
then you'd
fucking
be
wreck
able to
your living
tell?
room.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you had a big space.
You'd have to have a big space so you weren't hitting loads of stuff.
Some of us
But-
have big spaces. But no, I think that's ridiculous. I that's why I don't like VR. But that's just me.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see this. It didn't tell me how to do this. This
What is
dude
it you're
finding
doing?
out how the green slopes. Anyway,
Okay.
so I was like, I couldn't hit it with a
It's gotta stand
putter,
out.
and I got really annoyed with it. And I'm like, this
Well, it
isn't
sounds like it's a
working.
lot like real golf. Then as you hear people. all
Yeah,
the
it's very
time.
frustrating.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I bought this on the Oculus Go many years ago.
Oh, you already had it.
I already, but I didn't have it because that was like $2.99 or something. So it was
Oh,
proper
okay.
cheap. This was $10.99, right? And I'm like, ooh, it's quite expensive. That. It's quite expensive.
Hang on, the mini golf game was 15 quid.
Yeah, but that's good.
Yeah, but you didn't know that buying it.
Well, no, true, but I
But he could
knew-
feel it.
I could feel it was good. So yeah, I've
And did you
requested
try
a-
this? You
yeah,
you requested your money back.
I've requested a refund. Yeah, I was just like, it's wonky. It's
I
too
mean,
wonky
With
for
a
me.
2-hour limit on Steam, you can just try anything.
Yeah,
Or
well,
is it
I don't know.
Oculus? Is it different?
Most Oculus stuff you do get refunded within
Okay.
however long, as long as you haven't played it very long.
There you go.
But yeah, I was a bit like, it's wonky. The putting don't work right, and it looks nice. I'll give them that. I mean, the Oculus Go one looked like a piece of shit. So they have improved it a lot since then, and they have this cool follow camera that you can see on screen, where when you hit the ball, you can see where it's going on the camera. So
Yes.
that is quite cool. But yeah, I wasn't feeling it. So I've asked for my cash back. But walkabout
Alright.
mini golf, whole different story. That's fucking awesome.
Yes.
And that's it for me for games this week. That's all I played.
Cool.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
guess what started this week?
Oh god, Rocket League.
Oh yeah, it's a new season of Rocket League. Which means I got some rewards from last season.
What hubcaps did you get this time?
Specifically, it was car decorations, like car paint. And I got the diamond ones. That means I got the blue car paint. So, of course,
Wow.
I had to make a new car that shows off my fancy new car paint.
So does it
Nobody
look like a
cares.
diamond?
No, it looks blue.
Why does it not look like a diamond? I want mine to look like a fucking diamond if I'd won the diamond rewards.
Because the blue level of achievement is associated with diamond. And if it's platinum, it's like an aqua. And if it's
What
gold,
about
then it's
diamond
gold. If it's
hubcaps?
silver, it's white. If it's bronze, it's bronze. What?
Diamond headlights.
Nope, there's none of that.
Anything made out of diamond.
One season they gave you a boost based on what rank you'd gotten to, and that did have like a diamond shape in front of the
See?
stuff coming out of the back. But nobody cared about that either. These are purely decorative and they're purely stupid. However, there are some things that are interesting about the new season. One of them is that there's a new arena, which is out in the desert, so it looks kind of like cowboy style. So there's that.
Yeehaw!
And a lot of the rewards for this season, if you get the Rocket Pass, they're kind of Western themed. So you get like decoration for your avatar that's got a cowboy boot on it. And, some of the boosts have like, cactuses or whatever coming out of your car or whatever. But the big change, big news.
Is it really a big change? Is it really a big change?
Some people are really pissed off about it. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Yeah, go.
You can't just quit out of casual games anymore.
What happens if you
So-
do?
Yeah, well,
Let me explain for those who don't know. Okay.
Oh, this is a story.
Up until this
okay,
point,
listen up.
there's been in Rocket League, there's been casual and there's been competitive. Okay, if you play competitive and you're losing, you can say vote to forfeit after the 3-minute 30-second mark. The games are 5 minutes long. You have to stick it out until 3:30. Once you hit 3:30, if you're down by 4 points, you can say choose to vote to forfeit. If your teammate, let's say you're playing 2v2, if your teammate says okay, game's over. If your teammate does not choose to forfeit, you can abandon the match if you want, but then you're banned from playing competitive for 15 minutes.
What if you just turned your console off?
You're banned from playing unless you go back into it. You can, if you start it back up again, and it'll say looks like you just left a game. Do you want to go back in? If you go back to it, then you're not banned.
I don't think
then
he's
you have to
going to
keep
do that
playing.
if you turn your console off.
It does.
Yes, it is.
It does.
Wow.
Trust me. They don't
Yes.
play around with this. They don't want sour children rage quitting.
It used to happen
then
on,
going,
on PUBG as
"Oh, my
well.
computer turned off."
PUBG
Yeah,
could do that as well.
There has to be a consequence if you try to rage quit.
No, that's weird.
Anyway, the point is that's what it's. So sometimes you get stuck in a game where you want to forfeit. There's no way you're going to win, but your teammates like, it's a learning experience. You should keep playing. Never give up. Shut the fuck up. Don't go to Vegas, dude. I have a 3 and a 7. I'm all in. No, when your cards can't win, you fold. That's what you do. So here's the thing. Up until now, with the casual mode, you could join a game. It'll put you in halfway through the game. You lose a point. You just quit. You just find a new game. You go to play competitive, whatever. It was loosey-goosey, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Not anymore. Now, when you play a casual game, most of the time, they'll pair you up just like they did with competitive. You have no idea what ranks the people are you're playing with. That's the big difference now between casual and competitive. But once you're in, you're in. And you can choose to concede. I guess they call it conceding now in the casual mode. And if your teammate agrees, then, okay, the game's over and the other team wins. However, if they don't, you have to stick around. And if you quit, you can quit once per day with no penalty. But if you quit more than once per day, then they start, I think it ramps up. Like you quit twice, then it's going to be a 5-minute, prevent, you can't play for 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes, and then 20 minutes or whatever. Like they want to make it clear that they don't want people just coming and going. And some people are really mad about that.
Why
because
does
they
it
like
matter in a casual game though?
This is the thing. I think what they ought to do is they ought to have competitive, casual, and then super casual. So that super casual could be what it has been. And those of us who actually like, here's why it matters. Because if I'm not in the mood to play competitive, before this new update, if I'm going to play casual, during the course of a 5-minute game, I've got 7 different teammates. And while they're coming and going, I've got to play with a bot.
Right.
And meanwhile, the people I'm playing against are just scoring.
Right.
And it's disorienting to have.
So you
people
want to
coming
play
and going.
casually, but people are not respecting the game enough, so they're gonna. Yeah, there's no consequence.
There's no reason. Right, exactly. It was very casual,
Yeah.
and and again, I don't mind that some people want to play that way.
Well,
It's
surely
sometimes
that's
nice to play that way.
like casual, allow for drop in, drop out, or don't allow drop in. Like it's a checkbox.
Right. There ought to
Yeah,
be two,
yeah,
exactly,
you
two
could
different
choose.
Right. That's why I say there ought to be super casual, casual, and then competitive. I think that would be the best
I think
option.
Chinny's idea is much simpler and easier to implement. No drop in.
That's it.
Tick a box.
Yeah, but it's the same basic idea.
It's the same idea as Duke's. Yeah.
Checkbox.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to separate the people playing the two different types anyway. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but you could
the
choose
point is,
yourself,
It doesn't
couldn't
matter,
you?
it's
Allow
fine.
drop-ins,
Here's the
don't
thing.
allow drop-ins.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
here's the thing. I actually kind of like this change because it means that I can play casual games that aren't going to be quite so they aren't going to be taken so lightly by the people I'm
Well,
playing.
yes
with
and
people I'm
no,
playing
dude.
against.
Because what you could end up with is teammates who just sit back and wait for the other team to win. So they
You
can lose.
always have that anyway. You have that in
Yeah.
competitive, so that it doesn't guard against that.
Yeah.
In the old way, it didn't guard against it either. However, here's the funny thing: I played a game, and then I thought I was in competitive mode. So the game ended, we won. I was like, yay! And then I went to the bathroom. I came out of the bathroom. I forgot I was in casual. It had put me into a new game, and the person on my team was like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Oh my god, whoops!" And I couldn't just leave. Normally, I'd be like, "I'm sorry, I'll leave now. You can have a different teammate." I can't do that. I mean, I could have, but I didn't want to risk, doing it too much.
A 5-minute ban.
Whatever. Yeah. Some of us could be truly competitive. Rocket League has said, well, you know what? Here's the thing, Cody, because he said that in the chat. You can't be really competitive in Rocket League. There are really, really talented people in the game, but here's the thing. That's why I like competitive, because it puts you with people at your same level. And if I have a good game, it feels really good to win against people at my level. You get a lot of Smurfs in Rocket League because it's a free game. I think that's the big reason why there's so many Smurfs.
What the hell's
But
a
nevertheless,
Smurfing
A
is
Smurf is somebody who-
hold on, Duke. Let me take this.
yes, you go
Go
ahead.
on, you
for it.
take this, Ginny.
Smurfing. The act of smurfing is when
Go on.
somebody creates a new account to level up from 0 again to appear like they're a beginner, but in fact they're an expert player.
It's like if Ronnie O'Sullivan came to your local snooker place and he was like, "Hello,
That would be
I'd
funny.
like to learn how
Yeah,
to play
Ginny, I'll give
snooker."
you a game.
How do you play the snooker
That's his name,
billiards?
right? Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Snooker
That's I was Duke. I was quite impressed that you knew his name there, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
No, was it
I
Ant's
just remembered
first
that for
time?
some
No
reason.
hesitation. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. I was quite taken aback. I was like, wow, he knows who Ron is.
Yeah.
He
So anyway,
does.
that's Rocket League. New rule change. I like it. A lot of people don't. We'll see if they
Fuck 'em.
find some, do what they say as a third option, but whatever.
I'm with you on this, Duke. I just think
Fuck
people
him.
just don't like change. Fuck them.
Well, that's true. But whatever. A
Fuck,
lot
not
of people
that
just
big.
like to complain.
It's not that
especially
big a
on Rocket
deal,
League.
is it? Let's be honest.
It's not. All right. So the other game I've been playing is Destiny 2.
Oh boy.
Oh wow,
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Let me tell you,
please
people.
talk
Talking
more.
of fucking multiple currencies and microtransactions. who
Yeah,
fucking- Oh my
exactly.
god.
I'm not going to talk about multiple currencies, though. I'm going to talk about a very difficult quest. There's this part in Shadowkeep, which is the DLC section I'm doing now, which is you have to find something called the Horned Wreath.
Lol.
And all it says on your quest log is find the Horned Wreath. And I'm like, well, where the fuck is that? Because there's no quest marker on the map. Like, go here to find the Horned Wreath. I just have to find the Horned Wreath.
Find
so I
it.
go to Google and I type in Destiny 2. Where the fuck is the Horned Wreath? And it goes, the article is, first of all, a lot of video game articles these days that are like, it's not. It
Oh
used
my
to
God,
be
they're
there
so
were like
annoying.
pages that were just like walkthroughs. Now it's like the Horned Wreath is an important part of the new
Oh
DLC.
my
and blah,
God.
blah, blah.
So
It's like,
annoying.
Because it's because they're getting paid by the word. You
Yeah,
know that's
because
the reason.
I looked up if Back for Blood was crossplay, Googled is Back for Blood crossplay, and the article it took me to was like, Back for Blood is a multiplayer game made by. Now, what you really want to know is if it's crossplay.
Yeah.
Well, it's available for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Series X, PC,
Right.
and da. But
The
is it
top-
crossplay? We asked the
top result
developers.
is always an advert. That's what you got to be careful.
Exactly. Let me ask you this, Chinny. How many ads did you have to scroll past in
Oh,
order
like
to get
6.
to that
And
information?
we asked
There
the
you go.
developers, is it going to be crossplay? And the developers, while they remained keen that they think crossplay is a key feature, but they think that it could be or it could not be. So then we looked at the
Maybe it
menu
will be
and it
crossplay,
said,
who knows?
yes, it is crossplay.
And then there's like 3 paragraphs after that. If you enjoyed playing Back for Blood, and tell us about your crossplay
Yeah,
experience. Shut the
comment
fuck up.
below.
So anyway,
Fuck off.
eventually I find out that the Horned Wreath is this thing that's way buried in this catacomb. So you need a guide to even find out where to start looking. And I'm on record for a lot of games objecting to this notion that, you have that it's, the information to find it isn't in the game itself. I think it should be in the game itself. I don't think games should have the requirement for you to go hunting outside the game in order to find
So let
out
me ask you
something.
a question.
Especially
dude.
because it's part of a freaking campaign quest. If it were like a collect 100 of these things, okay, yeah, fine. That's fine. I'd have to look it up. Go ahead, Stu. What were you gonna say?
Surely there must be some indication within the game of where to go. That's
You
just
seem
a
very
nonsense.
confident about that.
No,
How
but
mu- how much have
but
you-
I haven't, but I'm just saying that just seems an absolute nonsense that they're
I
expecting
agree.
you to Google it to find out
No,
what you need to do
here's-
within the
well,
game.
I think they're expecting you to Google it, to talk to friends, of which I have none, or you could just
Yeah,
explore.
but how
it.
would your friend find out?
Well,
if
to
it
be
isn't in the
fair,
game?
well, to be fair, here's the thing. Destiny 2 does have a lot to do with exploration, right? So I've talked about lost sectors before. There are these areas of the map that are called lost sectors. The entrance to them is often a pretty small little hole that you have to go into. So there's a certain part of the game that is about just sort of wandering around these maps. That's not how I tend to play most games. So, maybe if I'd spent some time wandering around, I would have found the entrance to this area to find the Horned Wreath. But I didn't, and so I didn't.
People find this
later,
shit,
there's
shit
a-
out, Stu. People just find it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, I get that, I do. Because
And
let's
if
be
all your
honest,
friends are playing Destiny 2, the information is going to spread pretty quickly. Or if I were even in the Discord for Seal, what up, Seal podcast Discord? I could be like, hey, anybody know where the Horned Wreath is? And somebody would probably go, oh, it's in the moon
Horny
area.
Reef area.
It happens on Warzone, to
Exactly.
be fair, because like Warzone has like bunkers where you got to get keys and codes and all this sort of stuff. And like, oh yeah, if you go in this code and look at this painting and the code on this, and I'm like, oh right, okay, how do you know this
Yeah.
shit?
So having friends is a valuable resource. I should look into it someday. Anyway, there's another mission where you have to go down into these catacombs, which is actually a pretty cool mission. There's this lady who's helping you out throughout while you go around the moon. I don't remember her name. She's got she's got this mask on with 3 lit up dots on it, so it looks like she has 3 eyes, but she doesn't really have 3 eyes. Who knows? So anyway, Lady 3 Eyes says, okay, go in this catacomb. You're gonna have to find this artifact, and then I'll pull you out. I'm like, okay, cool. That'll be nice to not have to, find my way out of the catacomb. So I go down into the catacomb. There's this huge boss fight. Oh my God, I barely got it. I killed the dude. Yes, so satisfying. Finished the boss fight. The catacomb rises up on this pillar of light. I was like, ooh, yeah. Grab the catacomb. I've got it. And then the ghost says, your little AI assistant friend, he goes, okay, 3-eyed lady, we're done. Pull us out. 3-eyed lady? 3-eyed lady? Uh-oh. Wait, what's that? Run! And then monsters just everywhere. And what would you do?
Shoot them.
Yeah, okay, well, it's funny that both of you say that, because should you run or should you shoot them? Well, my instinct was run. I'm just going to run. I'm just going to run. Well, I got overwhelmed and killed. So then I thought, okay, I guess I have to shoot these things. So I stayed and I shot them and I got overwhelmed.
And killed.
And I was like, okay, and killed, exactly. So then I was like, eventually I realized you have to kind of do both. You have to run and kill the ones in front of you and then keep running. If you stop, you're dead. If you don't kill any of the ones in front of you, you're dead. And at some points, you have to kill a couple of things behind you, but it was just like, it was very frustrating. Because A, my expectation was I was about to be teleported out to safety, and B, my instinct was wrong.
You wasn't. That didn't happen.
Right. The other thing I'll say about Destiny 2, and this is the last thing I want to say, and by the way, I'm complaining a lot, but I'm still really enjoying this game. Part of the problem is that it's hard to keep focused because they are trying to increase engagement all the time. They are trying to get your money. And so they have all these seasons and they have this hammer of proving. And I thought, you know what? It's been a while since I've tried the PvP in this game. Let me give the PvP. Dead. All I did was die. And the reason is
because people play that thing forever.
No, that's actually, well, I mean, yes and no, but not the way you mean it. Here's the thing. In Borderlands and Borderlands 2, I haven't played 3 yet, but you all have played some Borderlands games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Back
when
in
do
the
you
day.
when do you get better weapons?
I don't know, when you
All
kill a
the
boss.
time.
Exactly. As you move through the map, you kill more bosses, you get better weapons.
Yeah.
Well, they can't really do that with an MMO because there isn't one constantly, map that you progress through. So instead, they have these power levels, okay? And every season, they raise the power level cap, which means that's the highest you can get to, okay? So in the season we're in now, basically, you start out at 1100, and the power level cap is 1260, okay? I'm now at 1260. It took me quite a bit of grinding not grinding, but playing the game and getting, beating bosses and getting better gear and, all that stuff. So I'm at power level 1260. Everybody playing PvP is at 1370.
Yeah.
I don't stand a chance. There's just no point.
No point.
So that's bogus because in order for me to get to 1370, I would need to put in probably, anybody in the chat play Destiny 2? It's going to be a week of grinding and doing nothing else. No job, no other games, just a week, hours and hours and hours of grinding. I don't want to do that. But I should be able to play PvP. There ought to be a way to say, here's a PvP mode where it's all leveled. You're not going up against people 3 times more powerful than you.
I just find myself thinking, with all of these types of games, it's that weird pointlessness because you're basically grinding to fight similar enemies that are just harder to make you grind.
But here's the thing, Stu.
That kind of makes sense. It's like this almost endless loop.
I know exactly what you mean. Right.
Level
and there's no end to the
one
story. You
fighting
never
enemies.
finish. Right.
No, but level 1 fighting enemies is the same as level 56 fighting harder enemies. It's just you're just still at that similar.
Well,
it's more like a sport, though, isn't it? Than
yeah, and there's different playlists so that there's strikes that I can do that people who are 1370 power they're going to have access to harder strikes. So it's not the same thing as the two of us fighting the same enemy.
I just think it's weird.
Well, it is weird. I'm not going to dispute that. However, here's the last thing I want to say. Some boss fights are particularly frustrating because you are fighting this big monster, and at certain points, they just become immune to your gunfire. And
That's
I'm
annoying.
like, what the hell is going on?
That's annoying.
What happens is they call in, I don't remember what they call them, like protector, assistance, whatever. They
PA.
and you have to kill those new monsters before you can go back to killing the boss. The boss doesn't stop attacking you. It's just that you have to change your focus to these, assistants that have shown up before you can go back to killing the boss. And they just keep coming. And then regular drone enemies are attacking you, and it gets pretty hectic. I will say this. There's one last thing that I'll say that I thought was very funny. We were doing there's a certain strike that I ended up doing 3 times in a row because sometimes it just throws you in the same thing over and over again. I thought I was grinding for better gear. Turns out I was doing it wrong. But there's this boss fight where he's he actually becomes immune in a way that you can break through his immunity, because he goes into this like trance, and he's like, "Ugh," and there's this line of light going from his body and his cocoon of healing or whatever it is, or immunity, and it goes to these 3 circles. And if you stand in one of them, then the noise goes, and then it breaks that line of light. At first, he does it to just one of them. You stand in that, it breaks it, he's not immune anymore. He falls back to the ground, you get to attack him some more. Well, at some point, he's doing that, and there's 3 circles. I had 2 people in this strike with me. I stood in one of them, and it was making that noise, and I'm like, y'all need to go in the other circles, idiots. And they just kept jumping around, shooting other monsters. I was like, go into the circle. And it was so frustrating because it would have been over so quickly. Eventually, what I realized was, because I was like, okay, maybe I can hop between them or whatever. What I realized was, if I stood in one, then it takes a lot longer if it's just one of you. Compared to if you have 3 of you, you got to work together, people. But I stood in one, and then it broke the line, and then I went to the other one, and it eventually broke that line. So I did it all myself, but I didn't get special loot for being awesome.
Yeah, for doing it on your own.
But it was cool that I was able to figure that out, and I was like, that's kind of cute, and it would be even better if people worked together.
Yeah,
anyway,
people don't.
It is still fun. I am enjoying Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. The story isn't as good as Forsaken, I guess was the other one that I played, but whatever. A lot of content. Mechanics are just magnificent. Graphics are good. Sound is awesome. I am really enjoying Destiny 2.
Good.
I changed my review on Steam to a thumbs up, so there's that.
Oh, got you.
No one cares, but so that's what I've been playing this week.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
I haven't convinced Stu to try Destiny 2.
I've played it. I did play the demo of this many moons ago when it first
that's
came
a
out.
completely different game.
I played it on Stadia
Yeah, Ginny played it on
right, you did.
Stadia because that was the only thing you could play on Stadia
at the time. Yeah.
at the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Stadia, what's that? Who knew? There is a little bit of news. Shall we do some news first?
Yeah.
There's not a lot,
think
there's not
we
a lot
should
of
do
news.
some
There's not a lot of
news.
news.
Putting news first.
There is some news that Chinny himself may be interested in this week, and I know it
All
isn't
right.
None
normally
of this is in the show
news.
notes. I mean, I would love to see it maybe while
Should
you're
have-
reading it, but it's not.
I
in
will
the show
read it.
notes.
No, you'll get to
Still
it. It's
says
a
Red Dead
surprise.
Online Blood Money expansion drops on
It's a
13th.
surprise. It's a surprise.
Ooh,
Here we go.
surprise news.
Here's a surprise.
Okay.
GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remasters reportedly in the works for release this year.
Like anybody fucking gives a shit.
Duke, I'm just gonna ignore that you didn't. I'm just gonna ignore that.
Oh,
statement.
come on. Do you seriously care about
Of course
remakes
he
of those?
cares.
Of course. It's not true. It's not gonna happen. But
You
dang.
don't think it's gonna happen?
No. What do you say? Remakes or remasters or what?
Remasters.
No.
Remasters is
So
the
what
phrase,
does that
not
mean?
Remakes. Well, I'll tell you. Seeing
on,
as
go
you
on.
asked. Seeing as you asked. Rockstar is reportedly putting the finishing touches. Not only is it fucking like they're doing it, it's done. Done.
I don't buy it.
Finishing touches to remaster its open world PlayStation 2 era classics, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas for release later this year. Rumors. Now I have to emphasize it does say rumors. Rumors of possible remasters for the games first bubbled up over the summer as fans began wondering why Take-Two's lawyers had suddenly started issuing rafts of takedown notices for classic GTA mods.
Oh,
Speculation.
Stu called this one.
I did. Speculation grew further following Take-Two's recent confirmation it had 3 unannounced new iterations of previously released titles in the works. So this was confirmed, Ginny. This was done. Now, however, an investigation by Kotaku has revealed more tangible details with its sources who, the website says, have a proven track record providing accurate information on GTA Online and Red Dead Online, claiming GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas are indeed getting the remaster treatment.
Yeah, that'd be great, but I don't know.
The
I believe it
remaster
when I see it,
reportedly
really.
being developed by Rockstar Dundee, formerly Ruffian Games, no less. An Unreal Engine are said to offer a mix of new and old graphics, supposedly resembling a heavily modded version of a classic GTA title alongside an updated UI. Gameplay, though, is claimed to be staying true to the PS2 era GTA games as much as
Yeah, I
possible.
can believe that. Yeah, I can believe that. That sounds more believable. Like when I hear remaster, I hear like Resident Evil 2 sort of like level of remaster, but I can't buy that. I don't think they will do that. But if they were gonna like update stuff, make it look prettier, but really it's kind of the same game, I can buy that. It sounds like a what is it? I suppose a remake, remaster. I don't know what the difference is really, but
Well, a remake is like you say, like a Resident Evil 2 that looks fully updated, modern day graphics, better move. I mean, because obviously, let's not forget in the original Resident Evil 2, you couldn't move and shoot and stuff like that. Whereas obviously in the new one, you could do all that stuff.
So that's a remake. So a remaster is just like updated graphics, but
like let's make it a bit shinier.
Yeah, that I can believe. I mean, they've
It's
already
like a layer of veneer.
To be honest with you, they did one of those in 2011 for GTA 3, for the iPad, and I think
they did.
And they did it for San Andreas, and they did it for Vice City. So they've already sort of done it.
True, kind of true, but I'm guessing for more modern day hardware, they are going to make it look potentially.
Maybe they've
a
just.
lot more modern
I remember
than
sort of playing San Andreas on the 360, and it was a HD sort of upgrade. But the problem with San Andreas is that it wasn't designed to be played in widescreen.
Right.
So what would happen is when they animate a character to walk off screen, as soon as they go off the edge, they just slide away.
Right.
Because the animation stops.
Yeah.
So maybe they've. Although I remember one where there's a scene where he's brushing the floor, and when he carried on brushing after like on the edge of the screen, but the brush remained still.
Because
so
the character was animating, but nothing else.
Yeah, so these little glitches were off screen, and you didn't see them. But then they just added the widescreen, didn't change anything, and then you could see all these like weird little glitches. So maybe they've sort of touched it all up and gone, oh, let's take all this roughness out and make a really good sort of remaster. So I can believe that. I can get behind that.
I do think
I would obviously play it
and look a lot better as well.
I'll probably play it because I haven't played 3. Vice City, I haven't played Vice City really since it came out, and I think that was 2002 or 3.
Good soundtrack.
So I'd play them all again. Yeah, I'd definitely give them a go. I'd give them my money. I know I'm an idiot, so.
You're like, take my money.
But I don't get many chances to give Rockstar my fucking money because they don't release many fucking games.
No, they don't. Yeah, a bit of sad news for me this week. Sad news.
Bayonetta 3 is finally cancelled forever?
No, not as sad as that. Flipping heck. No, Lone Echo 2 has been delayed. It was meant to be coming out on the 24th of August, which is very soon. And they've decided that they need more time.
This is that spacey space game.
Yeah.
VR space game.
VR spacey space game, which looks gorgeous. It's a great game. The first game actually was pretty good.
Is this the one that Paul recommended?
Yes. Yeah. So I played the first one, and obviously second one I was very excited because that was like literally 2 weeks away or whatever, and now it's been cancelled until whenever. I don't think they've even given a new date. They've just said later this year.
Vague.
So it's kind of vague, very vague.
Very vague.
Interestingly, it was meant to come out in 2019. So it was meant to originally release in 2019. We're now in 2021, and it's been
a bit
delayed
too liberal with the word interesting, I think.
Yeah, well, I guess. Agreed. I guess. And the final bit of news this week, the Alan Wake sequel, I know you'd be happy to hear this, Duke, has gone into full production. So Alan Wake 2 is coming.
Great.
So there you go. I'm kind of excited for that. Hopefully this one won't take 15 years to come. Who knows?
We'll see.
Because the first game took a lot. I got to the point with the first game where I thought it was never, ever going to come out.
Which is weird because it got announced in 2000.
And then I had an experience where I had wished it would never come out.
I think it got announced in 2005 or 6, and then it came out in 2010.
Yeah, it
So
it wasn't as long as I'm making out.
But these days, that's like common.
Yeah, that's an acceptable.
That's like that
window.
happens all the time now.
Yeah. Because games are difficult, Chinny. I
Games
don't know
take
whether you know this.
fucking ages
They're
to
fucking
make.
complicated.
Yeah.
Games are complex.
Just look at the in the 2000s. We had like how many GTAs did we have? We had like 7 GTAs or something mad, including like the DS1 and all sorts of stuff. And in the teens, we had 1.
Well, and they cost a lot of money.
So
They cost a lot of money to make, don't they?
look at Oblivion was 2006.
Yep.
Skyrim was 2011.
11.
But then and they put a
Special
Fallout.
edition. Hello.
10 years,
They
man.
put
10
and there was a
years.
Fallout 3 in
Elder Scrolls
between.
Online, the card
That's not
game.
quite the
And
same.
they put a
I know, I'm
Fallout
joking,
3
I'm joking,
between
it's a
that.
bunch of shit. Yes, I'm kidding.
Fallout 3 was
I
2008. It's crazy.
I actually cannot believe that it's 10 years ago when I played that at EGX, you know, the demo for Skyrim.
I can't believe
that's
Skyrim
so
was
long
there.
ago. Yeah.
Like
I
the
know,
EGX
yeah.
doesn't have demos like that anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything decent anymore.
No, not that we've.
It just
been.
gives you, they just put games that are already out
They just put
on the floor.
like 28 indie games that you're never going to play,
Yeah.
and maybe
Call of Duty.
one of them's good, and then like Call of Duty multiplayer, and then like one Ubisoft game that you like.
Yeah, FIFA. Don't forget FIFA. They always have FIFA.
FIFA's there.
FIFA. Well, yeah. So that's it for news, I'm afraid, people. But we have got emails.
Emails.
Do we though?
Yeah, we do. We do indeed.
Whoa, that ruled.
Okay, first email this evening is from Bond, James Bond.
Oh dear.
Oh, all right, Mr. Bond.
And he says, it used to take me 20 minutes to walk to 7-Eleven.
Okay.
But hey, veterans, did you know the PT demo came out 7 years ago?
Jesus.
What the fuck? Felt like 20 minutes. Jason, sounds from Jason. Do you know he's right? And that's similar to that. I can't believe it's 10 years ago since I sat and played the demo of Skyrim. It's like 7 years since PT.
Hey, Stu, I heard you played the demo of Skyrim. How was
I
that?
did.
like?
I know. Oh, it was fine.
Oh.
It was just the other week, actually. Funny you should ask. But yeah, it's madness, isn't it? Man, 7 years ago, that and all the controversy. And by the way, my PlayStation 4 keeps trying to download it and then going, this file no longer exists or something. So it still keeps trying to update it when it's not even there anymore.
Yeah.
Which is madness because I didn't keep hold of my PS3 with the PT demo and then sell it for an absolute margin on eBay because people like lost their shit.
You sound jealous.
Word.
To play PT. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of funky. And yeah, we still haven't had a new Silent Hill game, have we, since then?
I wouldn't hold Silent Hill on the same.
I've only
pedestal.
played one that I liked, and that was the Shattered Memories one, which was written by the guy who did Her Story. Oh no, it wasn't. Was it? Or was it the guy who did Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons? I can never remember whether it was Sam Barlow or the Brothers. But...
Okay.
Anyway, I think it was Sam Barlow. I think that's who.
Mike Barlow.
No, not Mike Barlow.
Ken Barlow.
Ken Barlow, yeah, from Corrie.
Mike Baldwin, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mike Baldwin and Ken Barlow.
Ken
They were always
Barlow, yeah.
they always had fights and
They're
stuff.
dead now, right?
They threw fists. I don't think Ken Barlow's dead. I think Mike Baldwin might be dead. I don't know.
He's from Stourbridge.
Who knows? Who knows?
No, he's from Stourbridge.
One-
Mike Baldwin.
Well, one or both of them may be dead.
Ken Barlow. I think he's still going. Mike Baldwin's definitely dead.
I feel like Mike Baldwin is dead.
I assume you're talking about the
dead.
actor who played Ken Barlow.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the character on screen.
Right, William Roach, the actor.
Yeah,
he
William
alive?
Roach, of course, William Roach.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Oh, is he?
89.
Who knew?
Good for him.
Good for him. At least he's not. What about Ken Barlow? Is he dead?
No, that
Just
was Ken
checking. We
Barlow.
might as well
That
find.
was Ken
no.
Barlow.
Oh no. What about Mike?
Mike Baldwin.
That's who I want to know.
This is the real
Please
news.
Stand by. Yeah.
Stand by. We'll find out. If
Mike Baldwin was
Baldwin's
definitely dead.
Played by
Did he get hit
Johnny
by a bus?
Briggs.
Johnny Briggs
No,
is
he
dead.
died in 2021, February of
Yeah.
this year.
Wow, I thought he died longer ago than that.
I thought he died ages ago. Than that.
Yeah, I did. Oh well. God rest
following
his
a
soul.
long illness, the following day's episode of Coronation Street was dedicated to him.
Ah,
Aw,
Yeah, I don't watch it.
I
Don't
thought he
watch
died ages ago.
I did. I'm like, oh, he died years ago. He did.
All right.
Yes, he
Sorry.
didn't. Okay, we have got another email, believe it or not, from Derek Hines.
Derek
Derek.
I've made my bed. You might want to access this email, Chinny, because there's a photograph that I think you should definitely put up on the screen.
Oh boy, gotta do work.
Access it. While I'm reading it. I've made my bed, but I'm not going to lie in it just yet.
Okay.
Hello, veteran gamers.
Hello.
No, you're reading it wrong. Hello, veteran gamer.
Oh yeah, hello, veteran gamer. Anyway, there is a photo of my
Oh, yeah.
bed attached to this email, but don't worry, I am not lying on the bed. Well, I'm glad, and obviously we
He's
don't
doing a
want to.
little bit of sexy dancing.
We don't want to see no naked Derek on a bed. I'm just saying.
Hey, this man does not speak for everybody in the veteran gamers.
You will see it's covered in a selection of some of my original music CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays.
Oh my goodness, that is.
Have
a
you
heck
seen
of
the
a
bed? Is it on the stream?
Yeah,
That is
it's,
a bed
very
full
covered.
of discs, isn't it? There's a lot of discs. But this email gets better because you might ask yourself, why has he got all these discs laid out on his bed?
I might
Why
ask
do you-
myself that.
Do you want to guess? Why do you think he's got all these discs laid on his bed?
He
Because
likes
he's alphabetizing them.
he likes uncomfortable sleeping.
It does. That
Or
might be the case.
he dropped one of them on the floor, and now he has a slipped disc.
That's a good joke, though. I like it. I like the joke.
It's not a good
No,
joke, it's just-
the real reason is, for whatever reason...
Because he's looking for a compact bed.
No.
Didn't really work. Sorry,
That's a
Dave.
terrible
Compact
joke.
discs?
That just
No, that's
did not
oof.
work. It's not
Sorry about that.
I have
Because
not
he's
put-
a fucking laser disc player.
Wow. Wow.
Because CD
Does
shit
he
keeps
just-
happening in the
Let-
bed.
Does he just
Let
put
me
him in the
think.
crack of his
Let me
bum?
let me think if he went to the bathroom. MP3. No, MP3.
I think they're on the bed because he's up to CD stuff.
I like that. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Is it?
I think
though?
that's been the best one. Yeah, it took me
Thank
a second
you.
to
Good.
get it. And I like a joke where I have to think about it for a second. I like that. It's good.
Right.
No
That's
problem.
good. That's the
Anyway,
best
go
one yet.
ahead.
I'm here all week.
Anyway,
What do we got?
for whatever reason, I have not put them back in their original cases. So the reason
Yeah, we see that.
the reason he's got all these because he's never put them back in the cases. This Motley collection probably goes back 5 years.
Oh
or
wait, does
so.
that mean he doesn't even have the cases anymore?
Well, no. Listen to the email more. Listen, there is
Okay, I'm
more. to
listening.
this email.
All right.
I had them all in a small storage box. So like, I'm thinking he takes them out of the case, watches the movie or listens to it, and then throws them in a storage box for some reason.
Okay.
Mentalist.
Don't know. Last weekend, I decided to find their original cases and put them back where they belong. So I was
What an
like, where
idea.
are all these cases, though? Where has he been keeping all these cases? I spread them out all over my bed to give me the incentive of finding the original. So what he's saying is he put them there because he wouldn't be able to use his bed until he put them all back in the
Just
cases.
sleep on the
I'm like,
settee.
yeah, sleep on the settee. Fuck it. I'd look at all that and go, yeah, fuck it. And having somewhere comfortably sleep after I was done. After 3 to 4 hours of searching through my home entertainment collection, I got them down to only 18 CDs and 2 DVDs. So where are the missing 18 CD cases is what I want to know. I just like, where's he keeping all this stuff and not having the stuff How?
Put the
Anyway.
fucking CD back when you finish with it.
Fucking hell. Take it
much.
out of the player.
Or
stick it back in
just
its
do what
case.
normal
You want
people
them to be all
do.
scratched up?
Do what normal people do and throw them away and
Yeah, throw
fucking
'em away.
subscribe to Spotify, or
Spotify.
something. Jesus.
Yeah, Tidal, whatever. We don't advertise just one. Any of them will do. Amazon Music, we don't care. I play or shit, whatever.
Physical media is Dead.
Dead.
It's over.
Good enough.
The
I
robots
thought.
won.
So it's good enough for him anyway. They had 18 left over. So I'm guessing they went back in the storage box. So, after my Herculean effort, a question for the veteran gamers. Are there any jobs, big or small, around the house or work you keep putting off simply because they are not that important, or in my opinion, you just can't be arsed?
Yeah, moving.
But you know, possibly, definitely, maybe you should get around to doing them soon or soon-ish.
Moving.
Where are you moving to?
Yeah, where you
I just want to move. I just can't be asked to like get the ball rolling.
Oh yeah, it's fucking pain, isn't it?
Well, it's funny you should ask, Derek. I got a visual aid for the people watching.
He's walked off. Just let people know what he's doing. He's walked
At
off.
the start of the summer, I bought this.
This is a safer paint remover.
Squeeze bottle, safer paint remover, because I have a bookshelf that is bright red, and it's like the color of the Don't Ask. And
It's just red for the audio listeners.
good.
It's red. It's a red bookshelf, people.
right.
Red bookshelf.
I thought it would be good to strip the paint off, sand it, maybe put a stain on it, perhaps.
Yeah,
get
make
to
it
look
nice, natural wood color, natural wood color.
Exactly.
And is it still red?
It's still red. This bottle has been sitting on top of the shelf ever since the start of the summer. And because, you know, I have to start working on school stuff tomorrow, it looks like I'm not going to get to it this summer.
Looks like,
so.
you know what? I do like that red shelf.
Yeah, that red
not
shelf
so
actually is growing on me. It's growing on me.
It's not growing on me. I still don't like it, but it's not important. And at no point in this summer did I go, all right, today's the day I'm going to do it. Instead, I was finishing novels and visiting friends in Florida and podcasting.
Well, that's okay, dude, because
ranting about stuff.
Because you've not procrastinated, you've just put it down to it's not that important for me to do.
It's not that
exactly.
important.
It's more of like if you used to do that would be more kind of like a not a relaxing thing, but like just like I don't know, just something you feel like doing like a different like almost like a hobbyist thing of just like
I like that.
Exactly. Like the kind of, you know, it's like when I made that box for my drill, like woodworking, you know, like
it's
home
just
improvement.
more therapeutic. Therapeutic is what I'm sort of looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But it would also involve moving all the books off of it and lugging it into the
God, so it's not
outbuilding.
just a case of scraping off.
Oh,
the
I've got
paint.
one.
You're going to move stuff.
No, it's going to
I've
take.
just thought of one.
Chinny's thought one.
Oh, Chinny, go ahead.
I
my
literally
God.
am sitting next to. I've got 2 brand new monitors that I bought in February.
Yeah.
They've been sitting there so long, you don't even notice them.
Let's not forget your strap for your Oculus.
I got
Quest
them all.
as well. That
Yeah,
could
but
be
this is
all right.
older. This is from February. I got a more
Right.
robust stand for my TV because you know the TV stands that you get with standard TVs.
Yeah.
They're shite, and they're like flimsy plastic. So I got a more robust one. So I'll have 3 monitors, and
you can be featured on that Battle Station Twitter.
But
account
what I
where you
want to
vote
do
between 2
is
battle
because
stations.
over the years, like my sort of desk and wires have just got messier and messier. So I want to take all the wires out. I want to take the PC out. I want to blow all the dust out of the PC because I just could do with it. Clean everything, dust it all down.
It's sounding good, this, Chinny. It's sounding good.
But so I can put my new monitors in. It'll all be nice and clean. Because you know what the back of your desk gets like now and again. It's all
fucking mess.
cobwebs
Mess,
and so on.
Ugh.
So, yeah, so I've been meaning to do that, and I just haven't got around to doing it because I have thought, should I just put the 2 monitors in and just not clean anything? But I do want to do it.
I'm being honest, Chinny, here. I'm just going to be honest here. Reality check time, but you can't be asked to play games lately.
I know, and that's the other thing. Yeah, I'm not even
the
playing
chances
it.
you got to do all that stuff?
I'm not even. I know. But it's again like I at the moment deem playing snooker more important than like leisure time. That to me is more important than playing video games.
No, it's fair enough. I
So
don't disagree.
so like and that equates to I'm not really spending that much time sitting here. The most time I'm spending here now is talking with you guys. But I have played a little bit more Plague's Tale this week. I have made an effort.
No, I'm only pulling your leg.
No. I'm just sort of thinking out loud really. But like the Plague's Tale was like, you know, I was on chapter like 10.
Yeah.
And there's 17 chapters, and I'm on like 17 now, so like or 16 or whatever. And yeah, I made like I thought I was going to finish it, but I did make a good effort to finish it. So
you were close.
I was getting there. Yeah, I thought I was going to do it for this week, but I didn't do it. So
yeah, well, this was what I was going to mention earlier. I finally finished the Balustrade Stroke handrail for the decking this week. So got that done. But that was a job that we should have done 4 years ago. You know, or I should have done. Should I
Is that
say?
how long ago your decking was done?
Yeah, it's nearly 4. Well, it'd be 4 years
Fucking
in
hell.
May. Come like May, so it's about 3.5 years. So it'll be 4 years in May.
So it's not 4 years then.
No, it's nearly 4 years.
It's not.
Anyway, it should have been done a long time ago because it was not unsafe, but if you fell off, you would really hurt yourself. But yeah, finally finished it this week. So I've got the other bit of handrail that's now in place. And we've got a couple of nice plants growing up against it. So we've got a climbing fuchsia, which is very nice. And we've got a Clematis montana.
Is this what this show is now? We're talking about fucking
Clematis
flowers.
montana spring fragrance.
No, Stu,
thing.
no, we're not
No,
talking
no,
about flowers.
some sort of thing. Anyway,
we're not doing that.
So yeah, so it's looking good. So it's done, and I'm pleased that that job is done. But it's taken a long time to get there. I'm one of these people who puts stuff off, puts it off, and then just do it. And when I do it,
The thing is, like when you're doing it, it's not even that bad.
No,
Do you know
it
what I
wasn't.
mean? So you do it, and you're like, "Oh, I'm enjoying this. I'm having fun. Like this is fine."
Yeah.
But it's just doing the task.
It's just getting around to do it. And also, I think with me, it's thinking about like what I need to do. Because obviously all this faffing around with a rip saw and a fucking crosscut saw and all this bullshit just to cut these posts. And will it work? Because obviously I didn't even know whether it would be sturdy enough once I'd done it because it was all pure in my head ideas that may or may not actually work when I do them.
Yeah.
So part of it is that risk of failure, you know, like doing it and then it doesn't work or it's not right after you've done it. But it looks fine. I mean, I'll be honest, one of the posts is slightly wonky.
Well, what are you gonna do?
But I'm just like, it's under the tree. You can't really see it unless you look at it.
It's
But
funny.
I know...
My dad has got like these fences that he put up years and years and years ago. I remember him putting them up. I must have been about. Oh man, I must have been about like 8 years old, but I do remember them going up.
Time ago.
And he says, "I'm going to tell you something about this fence that has bothered me ever since I've put them in, and I've never told anybody."
Oh.
And I was like, "Wow, what is it? Like, it looks fine." Like, and you know those standard fences that you get in the UK, see like the concrete poles and then the fence panel, then the concrete
that's
pole
what we
and the
have
fence
it
panel.
next to our house.
He says the two first concrete poles are upside down.
That's brilliant. So they haven't got the knobbly. They haven't got the knobbly bit on top.
And the knobbly bit on top, and they were upside down because he was doing
it.
he did the first two with the neighbour, and then he realised too late, and he said to the neighbour, "Ken, I'll do the rest on my own," because he was like making a botch job of it. And he says, "I've never told anybody that, but every time I look at this fence,
You've
always
never noticed."
And I've said,
and
"Dad,
no one
I
else
have
will have ever
never.
noticed.
I have spent hours and hours and hours playing in that garden as a kid, as an adult, even with the twins, like, you know, as an adult, and I've never once ever spotted that." And I couldn't. It blew my mind. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, like, something right in front of your face you've never seen.
I can't believe I've never spotted
I love
it. And he was
that. I
like,
absolutely love
"No,"
it.
and he said, "No one's ever mentioned it. No one's ever said anything.
That's just
But
brilliant.
it's always bothered him." I'm like, "Wow, he's just lived with it all this time." He's like,
That is the
"Oh."
best story ever.
I just thought that was so funny.
But do you know what though? He will look at that every time he goes in
Can't
that
see
garden.
anything else.
He will
But
look
now
at it.
that's all I see. I feel like he's passed his burden
Yeah,
on to
'cause
me,
you
and I'm
just
like,
look at
"Oh,
it now."
fucking hell, he's annoying." Yeah.
Yeah.
Should
See
we
it
get
every
him
time
out
you
and
look at it.
fucking turn him around?
That's
So,
funny.
oh yeah, it's
so
funny.
I like that. And that's it. That's it for email. So thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Very kind of you. And we have got a couple of speak pipes, both from the same person, incidentally.
Ooh.
Speak pipe. It's the way to leave a message for us.
Soul Brother, the week begins tomorrow.
Yeah,
Come on.
tomorrow, Soul Brother.
Start the
Don't
weekend.
get ahead of
Don't harsh
yourself.
my buzz,
flipping
man.
heck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoil
But
stuff.
welcome and thank you for joining us. All right, this comes from Lewis.
Hello, veterans. It's Lewis here. Thought I'd leave a speak pipe because I don't really know, but yeah. So
I love
I'm
Lewis.
thinking of trying to branch out my games a bit at the moment. I tend to sort of stick to the same sort of driving games and GTA and
Farming.
stuff like that.
Not that there's anything wrong with driving games in GTA.
Nothing wrong with your driving game.
I was wondering if you had any suggestions on Game Pass of stuff that wasn't sort of in my in my wheelhouse, I suppose you could say. Stuff I'd usually play. I did try Flight Simulator, which I've been excited for about a year.
That is in your
coming
wheelhouse.
to Xbox, and I was really excited, and then I quickly realised
liked.
that flying planes is really boring. Turns out, all you do is just take off, and then you fly in a straight line to your destination, and you land, and then that's it.
I mean, you got to look at nice places in the world. What's the matter with you?
Sorry, I'll let you finish. Go ahead, Stu.
I said you should be going over nice places. That is picturesque. There's lots of. You can see the whole bloody world. Everything's there. You can go through New York or London or fly over wherever you want. The pyramids. I don't know, Mount Everest. You can fly anywhere. It's not just taking off and landing in one place.
Oh, there it is. It's on The Simpsons.
It is.
Challenge of the scale model. Milhouse, this is boring. Make it crash or something. Perfectly level flying is the supreme challenge of the scale model pilot. Give me that. Hey!
Exactly.
He crashes.
Crash
All right. Anyway, back to Lewis's speak pipe before Stu started yammering on.
Yeah, I think it's really boring. But I did download Recore. It's called Recore. I do remember Chinny played this a few years ago.
Didn't like it.
I can't remember if he liked it or not.
No,
didn't like it.
I thought I'd give that a bash.
It was terrible, didn't you?
At some point on how it's going, I guess. But running out of time. But yeah, you're all doing good, and I'll see you on.
I love it.
Yeah, he didn't like it. I played the demo and I liked the demo, but the whole game might be more boring.
Can I just say, right? This is Lewis, who likes a game where you drive up and down a field, mowing it, tilling it, and planting seeds in it.
Yeah.
And he thinks
he does.
That Flight Simulator is boring, and that isn't.
Okay, shut up, Stu. So the Halo games on Game Pass, which if you hasn't played those, I'd recommend. You got the Gears of War games that I would recommend, but also you have Skyrim, which is on there, which you should try if you haven't played that.
What about Hades? That's only come out this week on Game Pass.
Hades is heard to be good. You got the Fallout games. You got Batman Arkham Knight, which is fantastic. Titanfall 2, which is a brilliant game. What else? I'm just.
I played the demo for Raji and Ancient Epic. That's a pretty fun combat 2.5D game.
Oh, don't forget about the Library of Ruina. What about that?
You can forget about that.
Tetris Effect. That might be a game he's not played.
Sniper Elite. Sniper Elite 4 is a good sort of fun romp. It's not a brilliant game, but it's all right.
I've heard great things about the Ascent. The Ascent's meant to be excellent, which is like a.
What about recommending games that you've actually
played? Rather than like what we've heard, yeah.
I've heard good things. Cricket. What about Cricket 19?
No. The Outer Worlds, Super Hot.
Destiny 2.
I think any one of those that we've read out is going to be a good time.
Carrion. That was a
Carrion's
good game.
a great game, yeah.
Dragon Age Origins, if you want a classic RPG.
Yep.
Dragon Quest Builders 2 is pretty fun. It's like Minecraft, but with like a lot of stuff to do.
Limbo and Inside, they're quick and easy games.
Yeah, they're good games.
Classics.
If he hasn't played them before.
You know what?
Elite Dangerous.
A game that I think is underrated is Sunset Overdrive. I thought that was a brilliant game.
Do you know, it's weird you should say that, Chinny, because I saw that the other day when I was scrolling through what's on Game Pass, and I thought, I'm sure Chinny said this was really, really good.
It's brilliant.
Maybe I should play it. Maybe I should
give
it a go.
The only piece of advice I'd say going in is don't play it like a third-person shooter. You have to be grinding the rails and doing the arrow. You have to jump on trampoline. You have to keep moving to survive. As soon as you just start playing as a third-person shooter, you die instantly. So it's so much fun once you.
Derek says
get in the rhythm.
Omno is a good game, which is the one I played the other week, and it is good. I can concur.
What game was that?
Omno. It's like a really cool little, very flower-esque. You saw it.
That's a no from me.
Flower-esque puzzle game.
Yeah, I think we give him enough.
Yeah, I think that's plenty.
Yeah, there you
He
go.
has sent
Now
another
let's listen
speed
to
pipe.
his-
Let's see
right, let's listen to the
what this
second
is.
speak pipe, which is 1:18.
Hello, veterans. It's Lewis here again. Second speak pipe this week, I think. Thought I'd update you on the Recar game.
Uh-oh.
So I think it was Tuesday. Sent me a speak pipe saying, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to branch out a bit from my usual games, and this game Recar's on Game Pass or whatever." And I remember Chinny had played it years ago. And I can't remember if he liked it or not, but I saw the trailers and I thought, it looks like a game that I think, it's a bit on my comfort zone, but it has the potential to be a game that, you can't stop playing, you can't put it down. So, in the time since I recorded that, I've played it, and
Put it down.
I put it down.
Yeah.
And I will not be playing this game again.
Correct. Correct.
Any chance of that has gone. And that's the end of the updates, really, for this game, because on the industry standard Lewis scale of 0 to 10, I'd give this probably a 3.
Yeah,
for
I'd agree.
enjoyment. So, yeah, it was a real disappointment. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my regular game.
No!
Forza Horizon he'll be playing.
You had a chance.
Else, really, because that was really disappointing.
He took a chance and it didn't work, so he's gonna never play anything
Bit
outside
him on the
Wheelhouse
arse.
again.
Bit him on the arse.
Yeah, Car Mechanic Simulator just came out, the new one, so I think I'll be getting that.
Car Mechanic
anyway,
Simulator.
Hope you're all right, and yeah, see you later.
That's too
bless
funny.
him. Bless him.
Well, thank you for trying something new. I'm sorry we
Yeah,
couldn't help
thanks,
you.
Derek.
Next time, wait for us to give you some suggestions before you decide you're never playing anything different.
Before we do shout outs, right? I missed a message on Facebook from June, so it was a long time ago, the 4th of June. And interestingly, it settles an argument between myself and you, Chinny.
What?
It does. It says he was basically, when there was the dude was looking for people to interview if you were over 55 and being a gamer.
Yeah.
And it's from John Chopples or Chopels, John Chopples. He says, "Hi guys, it's your old pal John Chopples, aka Smudgy Nip Tip." Yeah, he's got a real Smundips. He's got a really weird game attack. Anyway. Are you still looking for genuine veterans, i.e. gamers over 55, blah, blah, blah? Being 58, I'm definitely around there. By the way, just to point out that in a recent discussion about Bond villains, Stu was right and Chinny was wrong.
What? This is why he wanted to mention it, Chinny. He doesn't give a shit about the
Yeah,
community. He
just
wanted
because
to
he's
brag
right.
about how he was right.
Yeah.
About the metal-armed foe. Teehee, as he was known, appeared in Live and Let Die, and his metal arm was indeed separated from him in a fight in a train carriage at the end of the film. It was explained during the film that his real arm had been bitten off by one of the crocodiles that Bond has to jump over to escape the croc lair. Carry on gaming. There you go. That settles that.
Well, okay.
There you go.
Thank God we dealt with that. Very
Accept you're wrong,
important
Chinny,
thing.
for once.
I don't remember him being particularly obstinate about it.
Oh, he was. Terrible, he was.
He may have even said, I may be wrong. He tends to say, like, I'm not really sure.
I'm willing to accept that I was wrong
like
about
some
that.
people. Yeah.
Awful. Yeah, that's it, I
That
guess.
it?
I
Time
think
for shout-outs?
it is shout out time.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
Yeah, I'm going to shout out Big Hoss, who's literally just come in the chat, right, and said,
Big
"Hello,
Hoss.
gentlemen. I know I'm joining a little late, but have you all played Back for Blood yet? I've been playing it for the last 3 days, and it's very good. Well, we've given our views. You'll have to listen back to see
Wait about 30 minutes, at which point Chinny will
talk
have
about
hit
games.
stop on the video, and then it'll post the video version of this podcast, and you can just watch the first part where we
Yeah.
talk
There you
all
go.
about it, Big Hoss.
Yeah, well,
Sorry.
the first part after 30 minutes, to be fair.
Well, yeah, because they do go on a little bit about
Well, you could go
big-
back right now and watch it.
Yeah, we talk about
I guess you can rewind.
Duke's
it, can't you?
septic tank issues. And
Oh, yeah,
all
that's right. A
sorts
lot of poop on the floor. But that's a
All
good
sorts
story.
of
You want to hear that.
It is a
Who
good
wouldn't wanna
story.
hear that?
It's a good
It's
story.
a veteran gamer's classic.
I'm also going to shout out Ra Finch because it was his birthday last week, and I did a special
Oh, man.
set
He
for
should
him
hire
yesterday.
a DJ to do a
He
special
did. He
mix.
hired me, and I was free.
How did
I
it
am
go?
a cheap- It went very well, right?
Okay, that
But
doesn't
a
fill
bit-
me with confidence.
A bit like the concrete post thing. Right, the first fucking transition I did out of the very first track was a mess.
Oh, no one cares.
Right. And nobody would care, but I know it's and I hear it and
That's
go,
the
God,
mind of
that
the
was messy.
perfectionist.
That was
Yeah.
messy, man. And so much so, I did it a couple of times again today and just sort of found where the best place to do the transition
You're
was.
gonna have to forgive yourself.
I know. But, you know, when you're like, ugh. But that was the only thing I did that, like, the whole, right at the beginning as well, which is really annoying.
Rough.
But the rest of the mix went really, really well.
Good.
Like, Richard was very appreciative. He really enjoyed it. And apparently
I
had a
think
good
you need to kick
night.
this F1 person out, Chinny.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so.
Going down.
Oh, he does crack.
Oh, he does crack. Oh,
We're
that's
only
fine, then.
interested in meth users here.
Yeah, heroin only.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Ra Finch. And
happy
apparently
birthday.
enjoyed it, and it was like I had quite a few people on the stream, which is not as usual. I usually get about 2, but we had about 10 at one point. I was kind of impressed. And I got 2 new followers. Oh yeah, and a massive shout out to Tainted Brain, because wow, he's done a 10-month subscription to my channel where I barely ever stream. So thanks, Tainted. I really appreciate it.
Tainted Brain's awesome. Yeah,
He is lovely. He is lovely.
He loves
so
to
yeah,
show
he's done
support to people in their.
I know.
creative
Thanks,
endeavors.
Tainted. I feel
Yeah.
like I'll have to do more streaming now as well because he's
There you
subscribed.
go.
and
You
stuff.
owe him.
I know. I owe him. So thanks, Ra Finch, for letting me DJ your party. There you go. And that's it for me. So
Yeah, well, I'll shout out Antonio because he's moving to Scotland.
No fooling.
No,
I'm
he-
from North Kiltown.
And so good luck to him on that adventure.
that's
sounds
cool.
very exciting. Yeah. I hope that's not a problem that I just put you on blast like that, Antonio. But anyway, yeah, I will shout out.
His parents are listening and go, what?
Awesome. Like, what? Oh, my God. I will shout out Derek Sines for sending an email. I'll shout out Lewis for sending 2 speak pipes. I will shout out the Duchess. We had a great time riding bikes around yesterday.
Aw.
And I will shout out Nezy Does It because he played Back for Blood with us. And it was a lot of fun. So thank you to him. And thanks to Stu for showing up. No thanks to Chinny
I
for
showed
not
up.
showing up. Yeah, but it's okay.
We'll let him off.
I was
I can't
organising
commit
a
to doing-
surprise baby shower.
I can't commit to doing a play date every week as much as I would like to, just because Sundays are sometimes hectic and whatever. But yeah, it was fun, and maybe if we were to do them regularly, we'd have more people turn up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe that's a time that doesn't work. I don't know. The trick is time differentials, right? Like if I were to try to do one during the week, 7 p.m. here is 5 a.m. over there, right? Something like that. So
Yeah, I don't know. It's late.
it's tricky, but
Yeah.
anyway, whatever. We'll do them when we can. And I love the community. So thank you all for being awesome. And shout out to SLH. She was not feeling well, so she couldn't make it to the play date. I hope she's feeling better. And yeah, everybody who hollers at your boy on Twitter. Hi. Thank you.
There you go.
Chinny, what do you got?
Chinny, what do you got?
I haven't really got a lot. Shout out to
Okay, it's going well. This
shout
going
out
well,
to
Chinny.
Derek for sending the
Derek.
picture of his bed. Something I've
Derek.
always
Derek.
wanted to see. Shout out to Marcanix. I was listening to the Overseas Connection.
Oh, okay.
And he's been working a lot, and he said he had a tough day. And
Keeping all those ambulances running.
He doesn't work there anymore.
Does he not?
No.
Shit. Shows how long it is since I last listened to the Overseas Connection.
He works in a different place. Yeah, so, shout out to him, because I haven't heard his voice for a bit. I'll leave it there.
Leave it there. Done. I guess we're done.
I guess we're done. Thanks for listening,
are
everybody.
done.
Bye, everyone.
If you like this podcast, there is another site you should check out, which is called VGHub.net.
VGHub.net. Send me memorials for Gary Lever. If I keep saying it, eventually somebody will send me one or two.
Won't you, won't you, won't you, won't you, won't you just switch off a television?
Do not give these guys things that make sounds. No props that make noises. They cannot stop using them. No more
video games because they cause stress and they raise your heart rate.
More stress than being a police officer?
Jake, I've seen you play Mario Party.
Wario cheats!
I'm just saying about Wario cheats. That's a stupid game.
Chinny, have you seen the 2 new episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No, we're on a Modern Family thing at the moment.
They're very good. I'm very impressed. I'm very happy with.
No, we're watching Modern Family. So.
Do you know what we're on? You know what Kay's obsessed with at the moment?
What's that?
Catfish. She's
Catfish.
absolutely
It's so
obsessed
fake. It's so
with
fake.
Catfish.
It's all staged. Tell her it's. Yes, it is, Stu. It is. It's a fucking TV show. It is, Stu. Trust me.
Well, I don't think she'd care anyway because she just loves watching it.
It's just also Love Island's fake as well. As you know, on Love Island,
I know Love Island's fake.
They have to have meals separately.
Yeah, they're not allowed to talk about anything unless they're on camera.
Yeah. And then when they have a fag as well, they have to like go out one by one. They can't like go out as a group.
And when they do anything to the villa, they take them to the beach and they keep them all separate.
That's right. Yeah, on their day.
We watched an excellent documentary film called "Made You Look," which is a true story of fake art. This woman showed up at this fancy New York art dealer with these like masterpieces from Rothko and Pollock, and it turned out they were all fake. And it's just a fascinating look at art, the art world, and why things become valuable. And it was really, really good.
Well, there was years ago in the UK, there used to be a TV show called Faking It.
Okay.
And basically, they used to take somebody who didn't do anything like the thing they were going to get them to do, and then see if they could convince people they really were this thing. And one of them, I think he was a painter and decorator, and they made him into a contemporary artist.
Sure.
You know, doing all this like modern art and stuff. And they were gushing over this shit he just made. Like there was nothing. He had no talent at all as far as he was concerned.
Just like and he was shit on the canvas.
Yeah. He just did
like
stuff.
The stuff behind you.
But the weird thing was, by the end of the show,
you just talk shit about Millie.
The weird thing is, by the end of the show, he became convinced he actually was a modern artist, and that's what he started doing as a job.
Oh, really? He was in.
Yeah. He
if you can make a living with it, and you know,
well,
whatever, I think you shouldn't do art unless you like it.
Yeah.
Convinced himself that's what he was.
I think it's fascinating that so much of the art world is Tinkerbell. You know, like you believe that it's like people say that it's worth something, that it becomes worth something, like NFTs.
It's like Banksy, isn't it? This week, Banksy's done all this stuff at the seaside. Have you seen this stuff, Duke? I don't know whether you've seen it. So he basically filmed himself creating all this artwork at Southend-on-Sea or somewhere. And it's quite cool.
Great Yarmouth.
Oh, Great Yarmouth it was. Yeah, sorry. Great Yarmouth. And he did all these really cool, and they were cool. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the council, to protect them, hired security guards to do 24-hour patrols near the sites of the artwork until they can get perspex to protect them.
Of course, yeah.
And
I mean, it's worth a lot of money now.
Oh yeah, those like people remove whole walls with a Banksy on to sell it.
Oh sure.
But here's the thing, though. Unfortunately, and this does piss me off, right? Because he does this stuff and it helps these places become a bit of a tourist attraction. You know, because they've got a Banksy there.
But sure.
No, but that happens as a byproduct of him doing it.
Right.
And some twat in the middle of the night went to the one that was on the beach and covered it up with white paint, got a paintbrush and painted over it. I'm just like, why?
Did you hear about the one?
Now, it's possible. So hang on a second, Chinny. It's possible that someone's jealous, but it's also possible that somebody doesn't know anything about Banksy and he just thinks that it's vandalism and he's like, I want this wall to be white.
It's just some dickhead, isn't it?
You never know.
You about the one where the one in Birmingham? Did you hear about that one?
I didn't know. What was that?
So there's an area in Birmingham called the Jewellery Quarter, and that's basically where all the jewellery shops are. But it's quite a well-to-do area in Birmingham, even though it's not that nice. And Banksy did a bench. Well, like it's a bench that's already there in real life, and he did it at Christmas time. And from the bench is like some rope and a reindeer.
Oh, I did see. I have seen this. Yes, yes.
And then
the
somebody put a red nose. Somebody put a red nose on the reindeer. Before they could put perspex plastic all over it.
Right.
Because it's protected now.
Yeah.
But like just before somebody like they protected it. Somebody put a red nose on it, and that wasn't Banksy. That wasn't the original. But
Dude, now it's worth nothing.
Well, no, it's still worth something because
Yeah, it's not about the worth,
I'm
though,
just
is
kidding,
it?
I'm just kidding.
But like
about the
the
worth.
fact that it is a Banksy and it's in Birmingham does attract people. But the Jury
My-
Quarter is quite popular.
My favourite Banksy story from the last 12 months was the tube train in London. Did you see this one? Do you remember this?
No.
He went in. He basically went on a tube train, filmed himself on a tube train in London that was out of service at the time.
Right.
And he did like loads of COVID stuff, so he had rats with face masks on and stuff.
Oh yeah,
on
I
this
have seen
train.
some of those. Yeah.
And he did all this stuff around this tube train. The cleaners came along before he posted up on Instagram. Saw all this what they assumed was just graffiti and scrubbed it all off and cleaned the whole carriage and got rid of all of his work that he'd done. And and when he put it up on his Instagram page to show it, it was already gone. They'd already got rid of it all.
Yeah.
There's longa vita brevis, man.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is that, like, I don't know if I'm a cleaner now. I mean, granted, you can't think this much about it, but I think I would go in and be like, you know what? That's not just your average graffiti.
Yeah, he's
I
not
mean, the
your
one
average-
part where it's just his
it were
name. Okay,
cool
that's
as
one
well.
thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, this is like detailed art.
Yeah.
At least take a picture of it before you.
I mean,
do
a lot
it.
of people criticize Banksy because he uses stencils.
He does, yeah.
But he has to make them. If you've
course
ever
he
seen
does.
Exit Through the
and,
Gift Shop,
and it lets you get in and get out more quickly.
yeah,
There's
it
people
shows
who
him
complain
making
about
them
that
with a
aren't real
craft knife, and
artists.
it's amazing. You know, the
course.
detail that he gets into these stencils. Yeah, I do like Banksy, I do. But it is a shame when people do stupid stuff to his artwork just because they're dickheads.
I think that if you're going to be an artist like him, you have to recognize there is a temporariness to most of your art that you just.
I don't
accept.
think he himself is that bothered about stuff like
He
that.
doesn't seem that arsed.
No, he gets more annoyed when people sell his work without his permission.
Well, of course.
You know, he gets.
I love the one that
angry.
he designed to shred itself.
Yeah, shred
That's my
itself when he
favorite.
was doing the auction.
Oh,
didn't
so
he?
beautiful.
But,
and I know. It became more valuable. After
and fucking
that.
the
But
irony was it
here's
became
but
more
still,
valuable.
I think the thing that makes me happiest is the person buying it. That moment when it started, I can just imagine their heart
Yeah, yeah.
freezing shut,
Yeah.
and then, oh my! I just paid how much for this?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. This documentary film about the fake art, it features prominently this couple who paid $8 million for this Rothko painting, and it was a fake, and they didn't know it was a fake, and the woman who sold it, they were convinced that she was in on the scam and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? You didn't buy that painting because you love the way it looks.
Correct.
If that's the case, you just go and get a print of it at the
Correct.
gift shop for
Correct.
$20.
Investment.
You wanted to. It's an investment. You wanted to own the authenticity. No one else has it. So you know what? Fuck you
Fuck
and your $20
you.
million. I don't give a shit. And that's
Yeah.
the veteran gamer's take on art.
There you go. Done. Art is done.
Stop on the recording.
I don't think we ever did the outro tune, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did, yeah,
Hello,
we
you
did.
paying
That's
attention,
all right,
Eric Fly?
That's okay.
We did.
But yeah, I do think it's
Screen
quite
door on a
sad that
battleship.
some knob. They did stop him. They caught him at it, but it's like I said to Kay, what are they gonna do? Arrest him for graffitiing over what's considered graffiti. You can't do anything because the original thing's not legally.
If
shouldn't
it,
be there.
I think
Yeah,
there's a
but-
well, I think there's a bit of an exception with Banksy.
There is obviously there's an exception because it's a Banksy, but ultimately it's still graffiti. You know, it's still not.
Yeah, it doesn't
sanctioned
matter.
to be
Like, they'll protect it for the Banksy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
they can
definitely.
call it whatever they call it. I mean, that thing with the reindeer is presumably now part of the decoration.
Yeah,
In that tube station,
Oh,
which
definitely.
What,
Definitely.
and so what I'm saying is that legal definition might take place as soon as Banksy puts the art up, which means
Maybe.
you could arrest the dude for graffiti, since he's not just graffitiing over graffiti, but he's graffitiing over the public property. That
Yeah,
was worth
oh,
a
yeah.
lot of money,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
therefore
yeah.
he ruined it or something.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to be worth a lot of money now. This is just a white wall, but behind it is a Banksy.
Wow,
trust
there
me.
was. I can't remember who it is, but somebody's invented a paint cleaner that can clean the top layer of paint off and leave the original.
That
artwork
sounds like a
underneath
fucking
untouched.
TikTok advert scam.
No, there is no. Someone has invented this thing that can
No,
take
seriously,
just
Chinny,
the top
someone-
layer
he
of
saw
paint
it on
off
TikTok.
for that very problem.
Well, and the documentary film has a lot of moments where people are like inspecting the pigments, and it's like, well, this was only made in 1970, and it's like this dude died in '63 or whatever. So that whole science of paint and the inspections.
Yeah,
and
didn't
the
they like? Didn't they
forensics.
X-ray the Mona Lisa and they could see
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that they hadn't done before? And
No,
stuff?
he'd painted over other paintings before he
Yep.
painted that on top. So there were other paintings underneath the Mona Lisa, which is
Yeah.
kind
Which
of
we hadn't
cool
seen
and
before,
interesting.
Which is what Chinny had said.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the Turin Shroud, Chinny. You remember that?
What was that?
It was supposedly they had the sheet that they put over Christ's body after he'd been like taken off the crucifix,
Bollocks.
and it has an imprint of his face on it. Or
Bollocks.
something.
Complete bollocks.
And they carbon dated it and everything, but it was really old. It was still really,
Of course it
really,
was. Yeah, it
really
probably was.
old, but it wasn't. Obviously, it didn't come from like naught. It didn't
No.
come from the sort of. Like,
Is that what the computer just said? Year 0.
Didn't come from year 0.
Yeah, you remember on The Simpsons when the cat burglar's going around and Ned comes out of the house? He goes, "The cat burglar got away with my Shroud of Turin beach towel."
There you go.
No.
Oh, Ned Flanders.
So yeah, they did all this weird carbon dating. I think it dated back to about, I don't know, 1070 or something. You know, like it was like a long time. You know, longer than America's been populated. Just saying, dude.
Yeah.
But,
Like 20 years.
yeah, like
I'm supposed
20
to be
years ago.
offended.
It was like 30 years old.
How dare you question the longevity of... I mean, you know, there were indigenous people living
Yeah, but
here
you got rid of
very
them.
long ago. Yeah, we sure did.
We sure did. But yeah,
Sorry
it was-
about that, indigenous
it turned
people.
out it was really, really old, but just not old enough.
No.
Yes.
And obviously, what's kind of cool about that is someone had made something counterfeit, you know, 900 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Someone went,
Or like
"Let's-
it was just
let's
this old
fake."
blanket that somebody was like.
No, because
that
it
was-
has what looks like an impression of Christ's face on it. You know what I mean?
It has an
Someone-
impression of someone's face.
Yeah, but somebody obviously made this and went,
Yeah,
"Hey,
but-
this is a blanket that they had on Christ." You know, what I
Have
mean?
you ever
Let's
put a
go and
blanket
sell
on
it for a
yourself?
few
Does
bob.
does it leave an impression of your face on a
Oh,
blanket?
I
How long
don't
you leave it on
know.
there for?
Maybe it was
If
a
you
bit
leave
of
it on
sweat.
for a week,
somewhere.
yeah, you're gonna get your face
Yeah,
on.
maybe.
Tara is basically lives in a blanket, right?
Yeah, but is
So
she
you could
dead?
you could sell the Shroud of Tara.
Is she dead and decomposing?
Well, I think you can answer that question, Stu.
That's a no. So obviously, the reason I'm guessing that this stuff is on it is because he was dead.
Okay, well, but like,
Suppose.
but the blankets that they cover dead bodies with, like, they don't have their face imprinted on them, do they?
They used to make masks of people when they died, so you could buy a souvenir. They did this with Balzac.
They used to take
Like,
photos.
within hours of someone dying. They like, and then they go out in the street and they're like, "Get your death mask." Of
They used to take photos of people that
Yeah,
had died.
well, do you know, it's funny you should say that, right? Because I had a similar revelation a couple of years ago. When we went to Glasgow, we went to a museum and they had like a sarcophagus and mummy inside it.
Yes.
And we're looking at this, you know, beautiful gold sarcophagus from Egypt or wherever. And I'm like, that's got someone's dead body inside it.
Yes.
There's some. We were basically stood ogling someone's dead body in a museum for some weird reason.
We
better
were
known to
ogling the
ourselves.
very beautiful thing it was wrapped in.
We
It
were,
wasn't the
but
corpse.
inside of that, there's the
I know
the
it's
mummy or
weird.
whatever, and I'm like,
Yes.
why?
But it's less weird than if you were just looking at a dead body.
I guess,
Look, he's
I
dead.
guess, but it's like digging someone's coffin up in local graveyard and sticking it on show. At
Well,
the-
you think
the
about
local
it,
village hall,
when you
innit?
when you
know what
when
I
you go
mean?
to a graveyard, you're
You
just
know, this is
walking over
Grandad
dead
Jim's
bodies.
Coffin.
You are walking over.
If you go to a graveyard, so you're just walking over dead
No, you
bodies.
walk round them, don't you?
No,
You
I
don't
don't. I
walk-
just walk on them.
Well,
Not
that's
the
just
graveyards
you.
I do.
That's just you.
No,
But-
most graveyard. Well, in the U.S., most graveyards.
Yeah, but you're not digging them up to have a look at, are you?
That's true, but it's
No,
still a weird thing to
But I
do.
do dance on them.
You know what I mean? Oh,
I do
this is a
dance
nice
on 'em.
coffin. Look at this.
As
It
long
was
as you don't
it
piss
was
on
an
them.
polished oak. Let's dig it up and stick it in local village hall. So
Well,
everyone
I mean,
can have a
isn't that
look
the
at
whole
it.
nature of explorers going to Egypt and being, I'm gonna open up this
What, dig up
pyramid,
dead
and
bodies?
take stuff. Yeah, let's take things out of this tomb. That's what the
Yeah, let's
pyramids
take
are,
stuff that's
tombs.
valuable. Yeah, let's
And
get
let's
this
take it
gold.
back to
Ooh,
England
gold.
and put it in the British Museum.
And we
Exactly.
own it
We own
now.
it now.
Yeah, we own
both
it.
said that at the
You're not
same
gonna
time.
take care of it, Egypt.
That's
You don't know what you're
brilliant.
doing.
We own
Can we
it
have
now.
it back? No.
No, you
Fuck off.
can't. It's
No,
in
we
our
had it.
museum
It's
for
ours.
good.
How stable is your government? See, you can't have it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I did read in the
um,
news today that the Afghan president just fucked off.
Oh, poor Afghanistan.
Jesus Christ. You imagine that, like
I mean,
the thing.
I don't blame him.
No, but could you, when he was like leaving, and he was like, "I'm just popping to the shops. I'll be back." But why have you got 8 suitcases? Look, honestly, I'll be back. You're not fleeing the. Why are you taking
What's
the
that
helicopter?
sound I hear in the distance?
Why are
Is
you
that
taking the
trucks and
helicopter
guns?
just to
No,
go
no,
to the
no.
local spa? No, honestly, I'm gonna be back. I'll be right here. Bam.
I'll be back. I'll be back soon.
Goddamn. Haiti
Well, that's
can't
because he's
take a
got
fucking
cash. He
break.
would have had some cash, didn't he, in his skyrocket in his heart there.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of cash, man. Cash is king.
As soon as Haiti kind of stabilizes after their president was fucking assassinated, time for another earthquake. 900 dead.
Yeah, shit happens, doesn't it? It's bad, isn't it?
Well, it
if-
happens when a nation is impoverished because of
Yeah.
centuries of
If
having
God
to pay
exists,
reparations to
he's
the
having a fucking
country that
laugh.
used to-
He is.
Yes.
He is. Just one more thing on art, actually. I just remembered something else.
Yes.
Have you seen the Salvador Dali Christ of St. John?
No.
It's a famous painting, right? And I have seen it before. And when
Maybe
we
I've
went,
seen it. I don't know.
it was only because when we went to this Glasgow museum,
Oh,
they
he's
had,
seen the original.
yeah, they had that there as well. So not only did they, but they had this Salvador Dali painting called the Christ of
Yes,
St. John on the Cross or
Yes,
something.
I'm looking
And
at it
it's,
now, right?
It's enormous, right? This you
Sure.
cannot conceive how big this painting is, right? I've seen it before. and
It's
thought, "Oh, yeah."
huge.
It's fucking. It covers a whole wall.
You can't
It's
imagine,
enormous.
Duke.
You can't imagine. But here's the
And
thing,
it's
right?
Top down too, so it's like forced perspective.
It's huge. The curator at Glasgow Museum went to London to meet Salvador Dali, so he was still alive when they bought this painting off him.
Yes.
You're a
And the-
fucking bastard. How much do you
You
want for
fat
this? You
bastard,
fat
give me a
fucking
pint
cheater.
of-
I'm not you in the fucking hit.
And anyway, they had did this deal with him, right? And he wanted, I think he wanted something like £15,000 for it.
Sounds like a good deal.
Dude.
15 grand, right? And which at the time was a lot of money.
Loads.
You know, obviously this is going back a long time, so it was a fair amount of money. And he bartered with him, and they had this, all this backing and toing and throwing. And in the end, I think they agreed 9,000 or something.
Gave him a
for it.
Glaswegian kiss.
Yeah, Glaswegian kiss, 9 grand, and all the sort of rights to using it for prints and other stuff. You know, so it was like they had their sole ownership of everything about it. So if they reproduce it, that was fine for them to do. Do you know how much that painting is worth now?
10 million.
Nope. Keep going.
700 billion.
No, not quite that much. About they reckon it's worth around £60 million.
I was going to say 70.
I stood in front of a painting that was worth £60 million, and that blows
You never
my
stand in
mind.
front of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, I guess. How much?
Well,
is that
no
worth?
one knows how much it's worth. There's no value to it.
60 million.
They can't
Let's see if Google agrees. How
They
much
can't
is the
value the Mona Lisa. There's nobody that will sell it or buy it or nothing.
Mona Lisa is believed to be worth more than
No.
$850 million, taken into account
850
inflation.
million. That's ridiculous.
That's just Google randomly spitting that out. I don't know.
But I don't think that's true. I don't think it's actually been valued for anything.
Well, I mean, yeah, right. The only thing we can say is like how much it sold for last time.
I think wasn't it given to him?
Well, I was looking here at like the Wikipedia list of most expensive paintings, and this says the current record price is $450 million paid for Da Vinci's Salvator Mundi in November 2017.
Wow.
The Mona Lisa was just in a fucking bathroom for years, wasn't it?
Probably.
It was. It was just
Probably
above a
true.
bath. Like it was just above some fucking king's bath
It
in
is.
France.
It is mental.
Or
isn't
like,
it?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, I was nearly right. I'm quite impressed with my memory. But apparently they bought it for £8,200 and it was listed for 12,000. So that's how much Dali wanted for it. And they got it for 8,200, including all the copyright.
Well, Dolly's all right, and he's long gone now, and he's probably happy.
He's long gone.
He
He's
enjoyed the
long
money. He facked off.
Yeah. But yeah, fucking 60 million though. I said to Kay when we came out, because he had loads of paintings and stuff, you know, I'm like, what value? If you valued everything in that whole museum, what would it be worth? You know what I mean? Including the £60 million painting and everything else that's in there.
Oh, here's where that number came from, Chinny. The Guinness Book of World Records lists the Mona Lisa as having the highest ever insurance value for a painting. On permanent display at the Louvre, the Mona Lisa was assessed in 1962 at $100 million. taking inflation into account, the value today would be $860 million.
Wow, that's mental.
Yeah.
That's a
Nearly
lot.
$1 billion.
Almost a
for
billion
a
for a painting. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But
They better put someone on that to make sure nobody takes it.
yeah, they should do. But as we know, something's only worth what someone will pay for it.
Exactly.
Somebody
That's
would
why
buy
my
it though.
NFT That's why my NFT for this plate is now on sale for $700,000. Who wants to make the first bid?
So do you reckon Jeff Bezos would spend $1 billion of his billions to buy it?
He's too busy trying to get off the planet before it all gets destroyed by climate change.
Can't blame him if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I can. He should be spending that money to try to save everybody. Fuck him in
Wow.
his spaceship.
Spaceship.
Allow your workers to unionize, you turd.
Wow.
Why would he want to do that?
Yeah, well, how does that benefit him?
Because in long-term self-interest, you actually have a better life if the people who work for you are not miserable and cursing you out.
How does he have a better life?
You're saying that he's got more billions than anyone else. I
Well,
don't think he's that bothered.
Yeah, and if he let his workers unionize, he'd have 700.
What would he have? What else would he have
instead
apart
of
from his billions and
750 billion?
billions?
Fuck him.
I don't think he
point
needs any more
is-
money. I really
the point
don't.
is, I know he doesn't need any more money, so he should let his workers take some more of that.
Wow.
But
think-
you know,
I don't think it's
look,
gonna happen.
Karma's real, man.
It is.
If people are cursing you out every day, it feeds into you and it makes you
What
less
goes
happy.
around comes around, Duke.
Exactly. I just
What
wish it would
goes
hurry
around.
up and come around.
Yeah. Oh, well, it will do eventually. It will do
Fingers crossed.
eventually. Let's
All right,
hope.
fam. I got to be out.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
tired.
you as
Oh,
always.
by the way,
Thanks
I'm on
everybody on the
I'm
stream.
I'm on holiday for 2 weeks. Woo!
Yeah, rub it in.
I'm going away tomorrow.
Where are you going? Now, where you? You're always going somewhere.
I know. Well, you have to go to
He's
places.
I
one of
thought it
them.
was a pandemic. I thought you're supposed
He's-
to not be traveling all
No,
over.
no, it's over now.
It's very. Oh yeah, it's totally over in the UK. Do you not know? We're
Like,
only having
no one-
30,000 cases a day. It's fine.
Nobody gives a shit no more in the UK.
I guess. Where are you going, Stu?
I am going to the very sunny Carlisle.
Okay. Well, I hope you
So
have
that's
a
where I'm going, which is in
Carlisle-
northern
awesome-
Cumbria.
Okay, well, enjoy it.
I'm going to go to the lakes and go to the beach and do stuff. So I'm there for 5 nights we're having. So I'll come
Have
back
a
on
good time.
Saturday. I will do, don't you worry.
Okay. I'll talk
I'm
to you in a
gonna
week.
eat
He
good
wasn't
food
worried.
and- yeah, don't you worry, Duke.
Are you back next
Peace.
week?
Don't you worry. Yeah, I'm back on Saturday.
Bye,
morning
Duke.
Or afternoon.
Bye.
whatever. So we'll see you all next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chinny, I will speak to you soon. Yeah, and Vinky, get Walkabout Mini Golf. If you get, let me know and we'll play some stuff. You don't even need a lot of room to play because you can just teleport and you just have to turn in a circle basically. So it's not even like you have to move around your room where you
I just
are.
haven't played my VR for ages.
Yeah, well, this is a reason to do it. This is a reason to do it. So yeah, get it bought, and obviously not this week because I'm away, but next week we'll play some.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
So you're away all week.
I'm away all week, back on Saturday.
Well, have a good time.
I will do. Yeah, we've got a nice Airbnb.
Are you taking your Switch or anything like that? or-
I am going to take my Switch. It's not that I'm necessarily going to play it because I took it last time and barely played it, but you never know. This time I might give it a go.
Give it a go.
But we were quite clever because we booked all our holidays in January for this country and got most of the Airbnbs for about 80 quid a night.
I'd say that was more lucky than clever.
No, I did think about it
Mm.
because I said to Kate at the time, if we book it now, we'll get them cheap. If we leave it, you know, and obviously people can't go.
So that's
abroad
more
this year.
wise than clever. Then.
Well, wise, I guess. Wise. Yes.
More
preemptive. I
gauche.
preempted it.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, mate. I will speak to you next week.
Yeah. Have a good time.
I will do. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.